What's up, everyone? Welcome to another edition of the Starlight Digest, a podcast bringing line talk and digesting Star Wars topics over 1,000 years. This is episode 205, being recorded on April 12th, 2023. Back to our regular scheduled program on a Wednesday night, a Mando night. If you didn't catch it, we did a whole celebration wrap-up on Monday. Go catch that. But we're here to talk Mando today. So I'm your host, Darth Moocher. I've got Scott Solo here with me.
What's up, nerds?
Got Grand Admiral Franz.
Hey, everybody.
Bootleg Joe.
What's up to my nephew Roman? Let's do this.
Only your nephew Roman. Nobody else. And everybody else.
Okay, Nicole, Albert, Marco, Scott,
Okay.
Ernie, Mike. Hello.
He's on I see Gavin and Ryder and Santo.
Magic mirror, tell me today.
Oh, man. And Ernie the Fallen Foot will be joining us here very shortly. He'll be popping in. So the whole crew is here to break down something that we just saw spectacular. I don't know. Maybe not spectacular. I don't know. We'll have to see how we get into this, right?
It's pretty spectacular.
Yeah, it was pretty. I'm not going to lie. But before we get into all that good stuff, of course, kick it over to Scott because Patreons need to be shouted out. The pit needs to be shouted out. And then we can get into this. So go ahead, Scott.
All right, let's do this. Hey, thank you to one and all, to our Patreon patrons. We really do appreciate you and all that you have donated to us over the past year plus now. Without you, something wouldn't happen that's really cool. I got nothing clever to say today. My mind is blown by what I just saw on the TV screen. So yeah, without any further ado, let's go ahead and shout out AJ from the Forbidden Panel, Cliff, Brandon and Anya Epler, Dennis McGrath. He is, as I said the other day, he is our newest pit member, our newest Patreon member. So welcome aboard, Dennis McGrath. Don the Dad Dorn, Don and Brady of the Escape Pod podcast on the Red 5 Network, Eric Grubb, Fanboy Mike, Flavy Davey, formerly of the Nerds with Attitude podcast, Gavin Connor, currently from the All Cure Holy Hour podcast, Mervine, Nicholas Schaefer, Matt Logic, and Ryan from the Star Joes podcast. Thank you, one and all. And hey, you know what? If you're not a Patreon member yet, just scan that QR code right there, become a Patreon member, and join in on the fun. That's right. You too can get involved in behind the scenes special stuff that we haven't made up yet. So there we go.
Right on.
Thank you, everybody. And then, the pit. We've got Gordon in there, Papa Schmitty, Don the Dad Dorn, Gordon, Skyrider's in there, Gavin Connor, Santo1414, Ubaldo T, Cliff, Miss Sunflower, Matt Logic, and more. So, hey, everybody.
Nice,
Hi.
nice. I love it. Everybody's here to talk Star Wars.
Woo.
Mando. So this is gonna be cool.
This is gonna be cool.
This is gonna be cool.
Good
So,
intro. That's the lead in. Stick with us. This is gonna get good. It might take a minute.
Really good. Miss Sunflower, RIP to the realest one, went down like a true Mandalorian warrior till the very end.
It's funny how they out of nowhere make you care for a character in a very short time, right? Just like they did with Tech. They get you hooked in with him and a kid. You get him all of a sudden doing cool, honorable things. Yeah. And you change this. Oh, this guy's a jackass, but he's cool looking. Right. From a jackass to a cool character, and then you break your heart. Yeah. And you're like, oh, but it goes out the right way.
Beware of levity, love interest, and focus. Beware of those things when you're watching an episode. But we kind of like Monday when we were talking about this, and Chris was hyping it up for all of us because he had privy to the script or whatever it was, a leak script, and he was kind of like sitting there going, guys.
Well, they showed it at Celebration, so I was just reading all the madness that everybody was posting because I wasn't scared of it. I wanted to see it. Yeah. And the thing is, when I read those, they'd say them, and I put it in my head, and I'm like, they don't describe them very well. You know, they're just saying facts. They're not getting like detail in there. When I heard about the pause thing or anything else, I'm like, well, that doesn't sound very cool. Like the way it was going. I didn't know it was going to happen the way it happened. Like with them, I knew they were going to be involved. None of that was described, so that's cool. Yeah. So I get a peek and I'm like, oh, how's that going to happen? So I get excited. Sure. It's like a trailer, you know. Yeah.
It's how it translates visually, and it does make or break.
I thought that stupid monster was going to be way more than it was. I was like, another one for a long bout,
right?
And it just went
boom, boom, like, just to get him underground, right? You know, just a little, But So it's very rare that we do 10 out of have a 10 out of 10 point system, whatever. But because it's like if you go a 10, you can't go anywhere further than that. This is a 10 out of 10 episode for me, and it's two reasons. Not because one is the episode itself, but because it's not the finale. It's this and next week combined. It's just giving me like. We've always been. I think all of us here have always been in on this season as far as like buying into what it's given to us, and just the impact it's having on the overall story, right? It's a lot of taking a step back and getting into the Mando stuff and whatnot. So.
But that's cool stuff, and it's not like Din isn't there and Grogu isn't there. It's just it's a lot of Mandalorians and Mandalore and Concordia and all these things, and that's freaking awesome. We're in season 3. It can't just be the same Din and Grogu bouncing adventure to. They're doing adventure to adventure. Don't get me wrong, but it's for an overall different purpose. It's bringing in. Is it the Bo-Katan season? Yeah, and I'm for it.
Sure.
It's I'm good with it.
100%, dude, and it's like it's the long game, right? It's the long haul that you get when it comes to a series. It's not a one-off where they have to get you all this information at once. So sit back.
Though it feels like it. It feels like these last few episodes that we've got. Actually, every episode's got so much information crammed into it that it feels like this. It could be a 12-episode season, and I'd be down with it.
Oh yeah.
It's because they're planting seeds for other things or pulling from other stuff. Like today was pulled from books and sequels and everything. It's everything. Clone Wars cartoons. EU stuff.
What about you, Joey? Where are you on this one? On this app?
Oh, it's an automatic 10 out of 10 because someone shouted out "Long live the Empire."
Hey, I knew that was for you. Yeah.
That was good. See, that would be the cool one to verse the F the Empire from Andor had they done it. Right. You put the two next to each other. So, because Fight the Empire and Long Live the Empire just don't feel as aggressive when it's not F the Empire and Long Live the Empire. Then it feels more.
All right, you and I are going to go rounds on a solo show one day.
By the way, it was 9.5 was what it was. So that's
9.5. Okay, all right.
No cool. No tens, man. Can't do it.
It's hard to do a 10 because again, you can't go above it, right? So. Ernie the Fallen Fed is joining us again, straight off the Fall Effect Chronicles. So welcome, Ernie. We're just getting into the episode and the overall feelings of what we got.
Yes.
I don't know about you. I don't know if you're that excited about Mandalorians, being into this.
I don't know. They feel a little fake to me right now. So I don't know, like, what's going on. Like, why are we pushing them so hard? I liked when I just had my tattoo and it was cool. Now we're putting it on ships and stuff.
Why are they pushing Mandalorian?
Oh my God, on the ship.
Wasn't that so freaking amazing?
The first glance when it first hit, before you could see it was a skull. I'm all, why is the Chimera on Navarro? Because it's the only other one I know that has a logo. Right. And then that happened. I'm all, stuff.
This was my favorite part, and Micro Galaxy's squadrons are going so hard right now. Yeah. I want this bad. I want this bad as soon as it comes out.
It's going to be a chase.
And I'll pay for it probably.
Because they'll do the
this
small shuttle.
This was just
one will be
dope. This was just so freaking cool to see. And that finally we get this old school version. Right, guys?
Course.
Like, you know what I'm saying? We've switched it. We've had the skeleton. We've had all these different markings. But to see it show up just like this, I was a freaking kid. I was screaming. I was like, yes.
Duty on this one. Like, what's Mando in the back? He's just spray painting.
The kids. The kids. It was all the kids. They lifted up and everything.
Like Skyrider, lots of paint. That was when you pull cool. When you pull duty, like bitch duty, like go paint the skull. All right, none of your lip anymore. You failed on the one-on-one battle. Go paint the skull.
Yeah,
they all duel for it.
Yeah.
This episode was very good. It was very high ratings. I loved what this one does and where it's going, and I mean, it was great. It was cool. I can't wait till we get into it. I apologize for being late. Corinne just got back from the doctor, so I had to run, get her situated,
all good,
and like
man.
that. Or I would have been here on time, but
no, all good. Like I said, we just started.
Perfect.
Just started the hype and everything. So I'm gonna change the overlay because
hopefully Corinne is good.
Yeah, man, she's lost her voice, and we didn't know, like, she wasn't sick, you know what I'm saying? But I had it 2 weeks ago, and I even missed a day of work and like that, and then I was on call, so I really wasn't here like all week, just in and out. And then now all of a sudden, like today, like I can't even hear what she's saying, so she ran over there to get checked out to make sure. So they gave her pills and everything like that.
Some husbands would cheer at that, but I'm just
can't talk for a week.
You can't.
I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry. Can't hear you.
None of the currently married ones would do that.
So sorry.
None of us.
Or admit it.
All four of us shaking our heads. Nope. Marco's all.
I know this.
Corinne suddenly pops into the room and just throws something at your head.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Watch what you say.
Yeah.
Watch what you say.
Yeah. So no, I had to make sure she was good, all done, set up. And,
gotcha.
That's it. So I apologize, but yes,
it should have been from all the Mando screaming from the episode, like
Yeah.
But
no, I was an idiot and stayed up late to watch it, and then I saw how long it was.
Yeah.
I did.
Crystal E, Ernie, did you Ned Flanders scream? I heard it from here. Ernie doesn't live too far from me. I heard it.
Because there was so much to do with everything in this episode.
There were so many things.
Let's break shit. Yeah, let's go. Okay, so
we start out on Coruscant. Then
I want to do the Coruscant and the Shadow Council. And let's see how long this takes us here, because it was so funny. Like Chris in the chat had a 6-minute clip in our chat room. This is funny. I just want to share this. It was a leaked footage from the celebration, and everybody in our little Starlight chat was like, "Yeah, put it on." I'm like, I don't want to see it. Like, it's hours away. Why would I want to watch leaked footage hours away?
It was like 12 hours away. I had to first privately message everybody because I didn't know who wanted spoilers. And then Marco's acting like he's all high and mighty, so I'm all here.
Marco went as far as removing himself from the chat.
Yeah, because Chris put it in chat for temptation.
And then I wouldn't let him come back in unless he watched it or finished Peacemaker, and Scott let him back in anyway.
Yeah, because that ain't going to happen.
It was a big old mess. He's still on episode 5 of Peacemaker, son of a bitch. Come on, man. Watch the 6-minute clip. And it was worth it, and it didn't ruin anything. It still made
I watched
it
at 11:30 at night. I watched it. And then I went to... Felipe, what's up, man? Felipe checking in.
The same thing, too, because I know you guys, please, go watch the rewatch. The fellas did another show on all the breakdown from the celebration stuff and everything. Yes. I was at work and on another show as well, so I couldn't make it. But you guys got to go check that out, be part of the replay crew and get into it, because there was so much stuff that went down besides this great episode that you guys got to go catch up on all that. So speaking of spoiler stuff, I may know some stuff. So it was exciting in the morning that was going on. And I'm like, okay, this is the day. Oh, okay, here it is. And I had to ask, who wants to know something. And I was really super excited for Chris. And he's like, well, yeah, yeah. And so I send it, right? But then I start going through my work day. And now I'm getting messages back of, Ernie, I don't think they showed it. And I was like, really? They didn't? Because I may have already shared with a couple of people, like,
oops,
really getting it out there. And I was like, okay, I don't know what else to say. All right, well, hopefully the guys don't say nothing, but there we go.
We said, and then I found out ourselves.
Literally
I didn't put anything out.
The next day when more stuff was announced and everything, I was like, oh, it was there, and so was mentioned. Okay, I'm okay. Gotcha. I'm all right. Yeah,
So, because it, like I said, you do a quick Google search and boom, it was like things were popping up, man. Like they got SPIES.
Everything broke quickly, and then and then got blocked pretty quickly.
It did get taken down.
Spoilers and everything, and unfortunately, on the show we got bombarded with spoilers, so that was very unfortunate.
Like in the chat.
Yeah, somebody showed up and described the episode, and I was like, "Are you serious?"
Yeah, right.
Oh my god! Because I know it was true because people got to see it.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's right. That's why I read it.
The clip, right. So I was, unfortunately, sometimes spoilers are good.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like that where it's bad because everything was there, and I was like,
seriously.
Man,
see, why is that? I don't get it. I'm one that looks for spoilers, and I cannot find them anywhere.
Yeah.
And then you guys
And
are
then
like
they were
trying not to
showing
find them,
it
and they're like
over
right in your face.
Yeah.
If it wasn't
Yeah.
for this, I
Quick,
wouldn't
man.
see
You got to
any
be quick.
spoilers.
I swear I don't want to see him, but then I go find him, and I'm like, you know what? I'm lying. I like this.
Well, then
I
sometimes too, like I'm saying, the information that I get though too, Joe. Sometimes I'm like, oh, that's super cool, and then I'm like, oh, well, I have to wait 6 months for this to happen.
So
Yeah.
you didn't get cut by Paul. He didn't.
No,
Cut you?
he did not cut me. I actually had to leave for
That's-
work, so we didn't get to finish. But
Saved
yeah,
by
but
work.
he still
So
cuts me.
we need to
all
bring
the time.
Paul in here so we can discuss
Yeah.
his acting like Nick Fury in the new Mandoverse. That
We're-
he is
yes.
the
we're-
Nick Fury character that
Yeah.
bring them all together.
Yeah.
And he is the one.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
We
I-
got to have this super show, guys.
We're
where
going to.
him and Chris and everybody. So we got to
Yeah.
get it set up because yeah, there it is. When Paul cuts
Cut
me every
by.
episode because I'm just a prospect. But yeah.
Get
So
this guy
that
out.
good information though that I sent Chris was my other intel, and that was really good because I was like, oh yeah, all right, here we go. I get to show off something very happy to Chris, and I did. I
Yeah.
kind of freaked out when it was like, I don't think that was shown, and I was like, oh god,
Yeah.
oh god, that was the
Oh.
only time that I felt worried. I was like,
No. And then that whole it
man.
was so weird. They put those things in there. You knew they were going to get out all the stuff to Thrawn's face. And
I mean, it was a whole
Sabine
week
isn't
there and
isn't it
almost.
funny though that our celebration everything was cut and not like it
Yeah.
was very hard, even though it
Yeah.
went out quick, but it was very hard. And
Yeah.
this one was like, oh, just leave it.
Yeah.
for a while.
Yeah.
Wasn't it? It was
Yeah.
like that. But like that, then unfortunately this episode comes out and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, just to
Yeah.
recap,
That was
anybody
hard
in
to
the
do.
in the chat, if you wanted to know like everything that went down for Celebration, the last upload that we did was a whole Monday breakdown, and we went through everything Celebration offered, like really detailed, Ahsoka, Bad Batch, everything, and so go check that out. But like today, we wanted
Really
to separate
Ahsoka.
it because but we wanted to separate because we knew we couldn't do it. Well, we could do an 8-hour show, but we just didn't want to. Not on
I'm going
our
to do a 2-hour show on the 6 minutes if we get started on it.
Hey, anytime. Yeah, let's go. So, okay, so when we're on Coruscant, and yeah, I don't remember her name anyway. Like
TK2755 is all we need to know now.
that's it. TK2755, and the probe droid, and the slums. So this is like probably like I'm thinking the lower levels of Coruscant, right? Like
yeah.
But we get this hologram and her checking into Moff Gideon is the first
Just
time we
using
get
a
Moff
probe
Gideon.
droid is awesome, right?
Yeah.
I mean, to me, that stuff is immediately cool to bring.
Yeah.
in.
So she did mention like the Navarro was the pirate invasion was
Yeah.
thwarted, and that was set up by these guys.
That means
They-
that means he has control of the pirates.
Yeah, he paid them to invade Navarro and pick a fight, really. And then like Gideon was concerned that it was the New Republic that interfered, and she confirmed it. No, it was the Mandalorians. And yeah, this right here when so we got a screen up of Gideon saying which Mandalorians. That's important. To me, that's like a key thing. Like which Mandalorian, not just Mandalorians in general. You know what I mean? So which Mandalorians? There's a reason. Why would be the reason he's asking that right there? You know, is it because he's allied with some?
No,
Or
partially. I think he wants. No, I think he wants to. Yeah, I get you. I get where you're going with that.
Yeah.
No, just to make sure which one it is. Was it Bo-Katan's old one with his fleet?
Well, why would he care?
Somehow to know who to fight, who stopped it.
Mandalorians. It doesn't matter.
You need to know who to aim at. If
Mandalorians.
hold on, dude. Take the screen off so you can see my face.
Okay, hang on. All right.
I'm not in charge of the screen.
There, how many fucking things are there? There's my one. All right.
Let's see.
It's either Bo-Katan's or it's either the one with the fleet or it's the one over here. But you gotta know who to go after. You can't just go randomly and shoot one set of Mandalorians if they're
Why
not.
not? Unless he's
'Cause-
allied with one.
No.
You're making any point.
No.
If you have
Unless you're
if you have Axe Wobbs' side and you have the Armorer's side, and he doesn't say which one attacked us, I'm gonna go shoot the wrong one. Say there's
He's
no
gonna shoot the
allies.
wrong
He has
one?
no ally. You got to go after the right one. That's so stupid. Not even to say that. What do you mean?
What are
Which
you
one?
talking
That's
about?
easy. What are you talking about?
Guys, help me out here. Help me out. Like if he's saying like if Mandalorians
ones?
interrupted or thwarted our plan.
There's not one set of Mandalorians. You need to figure out which one.
Okay. All right.
I mean, does that make sense?
No, but that's fine. unless he was allied with one, he wanted to know which one to go after. That's the only reason of which one to go after. If it's just like,
so just randomly, when he gets attacked by Mandalorians, just take one random set out, and then next time he gets attacked by Mandalorians, the other set of Mandalorians out, just randomly, not shoot
going
the one.
after Mandalorians in general. Why are we stuck on this? I just asked, like, because
it was
I just
weird.
said, no, it is weird.
Well,
I said
Commandos Mandalorians.
No,
yeah,
that's way later.
They're
Hold on, we're good there.
I know that, but like, weren't they Mandalorians though?
No, we don't think so.
They weren't Mandalorians.
No, they wore armor. That's all.
Clones. Yeah, but anyway,
Perhaps.
what I'm saying is the reason why he
They're
would
like
say that
stepkids.
is because either if he was allied with a set of Mandalorians, you want to know if they betrayed him, or it was confirmed that it was Bo-Katan, Kreese, her clan was it, and he's like, okay, that's fine. And his reaction was almost like a nod, like, okay, it was Bo-Katan. It wasn't like the armor or somebody else. And
no,
like
it was both of them, and he said, "What? They're sworn enemies. Where are you? What are you watching? What are you?"
I think you're on something else, Chris.
Scott, take back over here. Come over here and tell him.
Okay. Hang on. I'm on my way.
Yeah.
What happened? What happened? No. No, it really was. We are having a
just like Chris said.
Yeah, it pretty much was just like Chris said. He said, which Mandalorians? He said, Bo-Katan Kryze.
He said yes.
And Din Djarin's covert. And he says,
right.
They're mortal enemy. That
right.
can't
after
be
the
their
fact.
mortal
Right.
enemies.
He said that after. Right.
Well,
right. After he asked which one. So
you have to ask the question to get the answer. What did you smoke today? Like, it's usually me.
Okay, first off, calm down, and let's go through this slowly because we got time.
Let's just move on to the Shadow Council.
No. This is good. We got thwarted by Mandalorians.
Nothing ever gets settled by telling somebody to calm down.
Yeah,
calm down.
I'm good.
Calm down before I read.
I'm good. Okay. Let's go to the Shadow Council.
But it's just what I'm saying is he asked which Mandalorians, and then she told him, and then he said, "Oh, why would they be both doing it? They're sworn enemies." You know what I mean? It's like if it should just be Mandalorians interrupted our stuff. That's it. But anyway,
and I'm gonna go get a random set of them and kill them.
There is no random set. He knows that.
That's you assuming that you see. You're putting that into the plot already. That's where I was getting at. You're assuming one of them's with him.
Yes, I am.
The only one that's with him are the three new ones that showed up.
You don't know what. It's not black and white. It's not.
The three new ones live on Mandalore, and they randomly showed up.
Those two, yeah, those guys.
Those are your spies.
Oh, you think so?
I'm gonna take you right to the forge.
Yeah, that makes sense right now.
And okay, watch this. Oh man, I don't know if I took a screenshot of it. They all do this, right? All of them always do. With their right hand. The tall one, left hand. The only one. I paid attention. I checked it 3 times. Even when Din does it, right hand to her when he says to her,
The reason why I ask these questions is because I still think there's questions out there. I don't think anything was answered.
Sure.
That's why I say it like that.
But we're assuming that right there. So in a non-assumption way, if you would have to know if neither one of these, if none of them are with him, he has to know which one did it.
Right. There's this episode's called Spies. Right. Okay. So that's why I'm asking, and I asked the question. I didn't like command it. I didn't say, "Hey, this is the way." I said, "Hey guys, what do you think?" With the question mark.
I think you're nuts.
Well, that's fine. I mean, nothing is set in stone, so like nothing was answered. So,
Scott, I think that's a cool Thrawn shirt.
Hey, thanks, buddy. Thanks,
man. Cool shirt.
Yeah,
like
I'm really digging your hat.
This is what an episode does. It like a good episode will make you debate, and will make you like really kind of like get into the story itself and really explore it. Like, because otherwise it's just a walk through A to Z, black and white. It is what it is. Yeah. Well, Scott's our middle child, so
Matt
even though he's the oldest.
Matt Logic, yes.
Are you saying the sick are Trojan horse?
Yes.
No.
Too convenient. Too convenient.
Oh, it's pretty convenient. They showed up where they landed, dude.
There's a lot of them.
Oh no, but Bo-Katan knows where to land on Mandalore. She knows
They showed up to her. Is my point. On top of an Imperial base.
Right.
Convenient. And
exactly.
he looked pretty healthy. That brother's been eaten. That man looks strong.
Both your points are valid.
Oh, Miss Sunflower, these guys know who actually wields the power in here anyway.
Yeah.
So
I don't have a button to kick anybody off.
Both of your points are valid. That is great. The episode is called The Spies. Everybody has a very valid point. But after he does, we find out that it is the two sets.
Yes.
Then he's like, "Oh, okay. So then, what are we gonna do?"
Yeah. See, he goes, "I don't have time for this," and he goes, "I'll report to whatever," and he goes to the Shadow Council.
He walks through two cool hallways first.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
like you had the theed walls, right? Like the force field.
Yeah.
And with these damn troopers, what is this? So are these uniforms or are people in them right now?
I think there's people in them because one of them's kind of swaying a little.
Yeah.
So do you think they stand here or do they activate type of
what
thing?
What a shit job that would be.
Right?
I think they stand
there. This is where I'm on that side right there, Chris. Okay, one for you. On my end, I think it's like they're like drones in a way, not necessarily robot, droids, but they're clones.
Yeah.
I'm considering them clones, in the armor and stuff.
I don't know, guys, because think about Moff Gideon and his stormtroopers that he got. He had the most disciplined stormtroopers in the Empire in season 1. I would absolutely see, especially if he is just going to a council meeting, that they would be guarding this hallway to protect him. So I think it's just regular, very well disciplined stormtroopers, and these guys are the precursor to the Sith troopers. That's my guess.
I'm down with it. Yep.
Yeah. Standing duty, no seats. So if you pulled stand duty today, I think if they rotate, it can work. But very, very cool. We got these guys in the hallway, and then we got the walking by the tubes again with the Snoke body. I mean.
Well, that's what we don't know now. Are these? Yeah. There's so many things going on. We're like,
that's why it's such a good episode because we have so many questions now.
Yep.
Yeah. Now we don't know what's going on.
That's what I'm saying.
His answers with his
every answer comes 10 more questions.
Yes.
There's a lot more stuff coming in Ahsoka. We've heard rumors, so it kind of throws this off too, right? Because there's different types of troopers coming, and this really.
So it's crazy. It is. It's crazy because exactly what is going on. It really is.
Those be the failed attempts of trying to clone the Emperor.
It could be. That's what we're saying.
Could be.
It might be.
But then as we get now to
Ray's dad could be in there, yeah.
Right. And as we get to the next scene, though, he says no, like he has nothing to do with it.
Right.
Which then throws me off as far as
they questioned his.
He could be just saying that.
They questioned
he's just saying that
facility on Navarro.
Yeah. They were calling him out on that Navarro deal.
And he just says, "Hey, I run my sector. You guys are running your sectors, right?" And
he was doing it there too, though. But his is like if he doesn't care. But we saw him just walk by it for a reason.
Oh,
you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
They're adding Mando's genes into that, Din's genes into there, right? That's what he was saying. It's like the cloners, the Jedi, the Mandalorians. When he says cloners, do you think he means like physically cloners or clones, like an enhanced clone like Omega? I would say.
I think it means the cloners. I think it means like the Kaminoans and Dr. Pershing.
Dr. Pershing, yeah.
The science.
Yeah, I think so too.
Gotcha, because when he was talking about it was the amalgam of people into the DNA, right? So I wasn't seeing him doing the science part. I was seeing that they created something that they could use.
He was talking about the abilities of each of those people, the abilities of the Jedi, the abilities of the cloners to recreate, the abilities of the Mandalorians as just great warriors. That's what I took out of it.
And then splice them all together, and boom. And he's picking Din because, again, for some reason we've talked about he's the chosen Mandalorian.
Yeah. I mean, listen to the name, Project Necromancer. Necromancer is what a wizard that brings back the dead with magic.
That's
it's
dead. But okay, now okay. Do we want to talk about the Ahsoka rumor or no? Because that's necromancer stuff right there, right? So it just depends. But I do think this is Palpatine because they talked about new leadership and they said we have that covered under Project Necromancer. Is what he said, right? Something to that effect.
Yeah, like
in context.
Gideon, what are you like? They called him out, right? Like, what are you like? Yeah, right. You don't need to be doing this stuff. We've got Project Necromancer covering all that.
And you need to all chill because we have Grand Admiral Thrawn's return coming from Mr. Pelion.
Right.
Like he was the one to take over everything. immediately saying that.
They're waiting for Thrawn to come take this over. Yeah, to bring the fleet. He has the fleet.
Yeah, 100%. He has the fleet, and according to Paleon, he's waiting for the right moment to return because there's so many spies out there, or there's so many leaks out there, right? And that's when Gideon spoke up, and he's like, "I'm in charge of the secrets," and he's like, "I don't see Thrawn doing. He's never in these meetings. He's not here. You're saying he's out there." And that's why he's like, maybe new leadership is needed, right?
Yeah, and he says, I have ears from one corner of the galaxy to the other, but he doesn't have ears in this new space.
Right. He doesn't like. To me, I'm thinking Paleon is one saying Thrawn's back. He's just biding his time to come back, and I think either all these guys or Gideon himself is probably like, okay, but I don't see him here. He's not coming back. We don't see him. We're just taking your word for it. Like, or do you guys think they have, and he's just not doing it? Like Thrawn's taking his time, not doing anything, and Gideon and are becoming impatient.
They're searching for Thrawn. The people are still searching. That's the premise of Ahsoka.
Right? Oh yeah, right.
Morgan, Elsbeth, the lady with the Beskar spear, she is searching for Thrawn.
Okay, so Paleon's saying like in his inevitable return, then. Yeah, so he's not necessarily working with him right now.
And Elsbeth, when she was on, I forgot the planet real fast. Corbin, whatever. She is a manufacturer. Remember, she stripped that whole planet for supplies.
Right.
She's building ships for him. She's building a fleet for him. So boom.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So, but anyway,
I think there's like a certain number of people who are working with Thrawn, or Thrawn's making, or they found him, or something like that.
I see that Hux and Pelion, right, are in cahoots.
Yes.
That's it. Because they look at each other, they nod, which is funny.
And they own, and they're in charge of most of the Imperial stuff out there. Like
the real Imperial. The other guys look like warlords. These two are imps.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Which Pelion, Pelion is like the lowest ranking member of the Shadow Council as a captain instead of a commodore or a commandant or a Moff, but he seems to be the one that's throwing it's making all the calls.
And Gideon says that. He's all, you seem to throw a lot of authority around here.
Right.
For him, and that is funny. Yeah, he sure does. That's because he's Pelion.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But the talk with Hux, that it's really okay. Again, we all know who that's the brother. The actor is the brother, right?
Yes, it's Brian Gleason, who is Dom Hall Gleason's brother. Yeah,
pretty neat. And I know, Marco, you mentioned earlier in the book that he was kind of described as a big burly dude.
Yeah,
and he was, and I thought the same thing.
Yeah, because for those of you who don't know, this is Hux is in the sequels. This is his dad. The one that's in charge, eventually gets in charge of the Stormtrooper program that kidnapped Finn, brainwashed him, all the kids, and made them Stormtroopers. So in the Aftermath books, Hux kills his dad because he was just like this big bully.
Yeah.
Always,
And he'll still be a bully, I'm sure. And still, it was very young when he, sent him off to deal with the.
Yeah, and that's why I asked in chat, like, how far away is the Stormtrooper program? If I'm going by Finn's age, like maybe I'm just assuming Finn was like part of the round one, just because that's all we got. And so I was trying to pinpoint when the Stormtrooper First Order program began to put it in time frame of where that project would be starting.
I would think it'd be either in the next 3 to 7 years, right, between now and 15. I wouldn't think any more than 15 years before then, because if Finn's like 24 to 28.
Okay.
You want to get him maybe 10 to 12, somewhere around there, I would think.
Yeah. Okay. But it did okay.
Close.
Finn as a baby, but yeah.
Oh, you're right. They did have him as a baby. So right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's going off of how the Jedis do it. Yeah. He saw what the Jedi do by taking the children in that sense. And now is the program for this. This is also our very first introduction into the sequels.
Yeah.
Is Hux
100%. And even when
to say 100 because the what we think is Snoke or hearing what they're doing for the clone, this is just all of us line talk theory crafting.
Yeah.
Like we don't know for sure.
Right.
I know we saw what was the Snoke heads and like that, but it was never nothing like that. So hearing Hux, this is for sure our first 100%. Oh man, first order stuff.
First of a couple.
Well, yes,
it gets good.
Yeah.
No, this is definitely, like I was talking to Sony today about, like they were complaining about Mandalorian in general, or the sequels and all that stuff, right? And I go, you know, what's funny is like when the sequels happened, we actually said there was like this 30-year gap in there, and it's very interesting on what happens in there that could make the sequel so much better. And then the Rey movie, you know, doing all that stuff and bookending it real nice and neat. As I was explaining it to him, he was like, yeah, okay, I get it. And I said, the only reason why you're fighting is because you want Disney to cancel you want them to not recognize it and cancel. I'm like, they're not doing it. They're doubling down. Yeah. And if, you know, so that's the, you know, and you have to buy into that to make all this work in your head. You know,
or I mean? Walk away, or just walk away and quit making everybody's lives miserable. But at the same time, not only you people out there are saying we want them to cancel. Why would they cancel something that made them billions of dollars?
Yeah,
I mean, regardless of how you may have personally felt about the sequel trilogy, they made bank on that. Yeah, they made their money back on those. Plus,
100%.
And they're doing a Rey movie with Grogu.
They're doubling down on it. They're doubling down on their investment, and that's exactly what we said. Even us as being very critical of the sequel, we said that. We said they need to double down because you can't revert. You can't. Yeah. So anyway,
I had the discussion about multiverses today with somebody, and it's just don't do that. Just you got to fix what you got to fix. It's in there. Don't multiverse it. Just fix
the way they're doing it and the way this all can happen and the way it can progress is actually very exciting. Like with the Praetorian Guards later, with the Snoke body, we're assuming those are Snoke bodies just because that's what we've seen in the past. You know what I mean? We're just kind of, you know, we don't know if those are new clones or whatever.
They didn't know. They didn't. To me, on those clones, can we have that picture again, real quick, Scott? Do you mind?
The jars.
Just a second.
Yeah. They look too built. Their physiques look better than Snoke.
They look like they actually look like him. They look like Moff Gideon, maybe the shape of him.
What? Okay, these no, dude. The uniforms were empty. These are the troops.
That's another possibility. That's another thing. Like you know,
I
and they're all the same. They're clones of Gideon.
Oh, so cool.
Because he did say I have a new suit, and the best thing about it is I'm in it.
Right.
Yeah.
He's in all of them. Oh my God. That's what I need to happen. It's just a bunch of Gideons.
Yeah. I mean,
because he thinks he's it.
Yeah. Dang. Is this Mandalorian base secret to everybody but is that a secret base of his? Like Navarro was his like true base, right? And
because he even didn't really tell them. He says their home world of Mandalore. He didn't say here.
Right.
He said they're going to take Mandalore.
I love it how and that's another reason why it's like I think, man, that just puts it in my head like Gideon's working just for him. Like you said that before too. He's working just for himself, and I thought it was he's probably using all the Imperial resources, whatever, to build this unstoppable army that even the Imperials wouldn't oppose him. Right? He would be like, I am the leader. Thrawn be dead because he's already questioning his leadership, and Thrawn's not even there. Like you know, and some of them agreed with him on that and that council too.
So this guy's got Dark Troopers going. This guy's got clones going. You know, the Mandalorians are going to have droids going next week. I'm sure of it.
Yeah,
sure.
Interesting. This puts it a big U-turn.
Yeah, that's it. That's what we've been right there. That's it. That's why he wanted Grogu.
Sunflowers.
Yep. We've been saying
Gideon.
Yeah. Go ahead.
It's crazy too because in that saying, I was really shocked in this council the way that he dismissed Thrawn.
Yeah.
That he wasn't here because we were all thinking Thrawn is the big boss, like that, who he is answering to, and like that. And to him, this really does put him out on his own. That he's really out for himself right now and trying to bring them on board. Like, I can run this. I'm the one who can lead this. I'm the one who Thrawn ain't here.
Exactly what I'm thinking too. Yeah.
Yeah. That's how I feel because I was really shocked that he was like dissing Thrawn.
I thought he was part of the plan. I thought he was part of the grand scheme of things, and it almost seems like he's a complete offshoot from the First Order, the Final Order, the Sith fleet. It feels like he is something else.
Yeah.
Where the rest of the Shadow Council is part of that grand scheme of things over all the First Order and the Final Order.
Yeah,
he's taking bits of all their plans and screwing with it, right? Because he kept Dr. Pershing when he wasn't supposed to keep Dr. Pershing and made him do all those. That love it, man. So
no, that's great. Like that's cool because then it's that conflict. Remember, there's always that thing that we say, like that conflict that's not New Republic driven. You know what I mean? It's not an army that they're fighting. They're fighting within themselves, but this is like the power vacuum, the power struggle. And then when Thrawn's return, that really unite. Thrawn's return will unite the warlords and reunite all the other Imperial factions that are hanging on to that. And Gideon is putting those seeds of doubt into this plan, and and Thrawn's going to take out Gideon. Sabersmith says, that would be it. I mean, that would be like
pretty cool.
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I dig it.
Okay. It depends if he has the Darksaber or not when we get to that point, right? I think Gideon's going to end up with the Darksaber.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't think Gideon's going to get out of this season alive. I don't think he's going to walk away from this. That's just my own personal prediction. I don't think he's going to walk away. I think that Bo-Katan made that mistake, letting the Republic get their hands on him last time. They said that the season is going to wrap. It's going to be it's going to be a distinct finale for the season. I think that Gideon's going to get taken out. I think we're going to get like maybe a Thrawn and a post-credit scene, kind of like what we did with the Darksaber originally, or the Boba Fett shooting Bib Fortuna, something like that.
That would be cool.
Where is Boba? I mean, is he going to be the one to save the day?
Oh,
I really
that's the
think
other. So okay, there you go. So well, we're not. Damn, we're so early. But yes, I think Boba's coming.
Do you really?
And I think the droids from Plaza 15 are coming. That's what I think is happening.
Well,
and Fen Rao.
The only one that escaped is Axe Wolves. I mean, he has got to go visit all 3 planets or all 3 planets.
I don't trust that mofo as far as
5 minutes.
If he can get up to warn the fleet, if they haven't Trojan horsed it, or at least get to the gauntlet, he can get to somebody who can get to somebody. They can communicate. They can communicate.
Could you imagine though if Axe Wolf shows up there on that ship to warn everybody? Yeah, they're here, and the armorer turns around and shoots him. It was her all along.
Yeah.
Oh man,
I had that thought
suck,
so the last night when I saw the episode, I was like, oh crap! I think the armor set all this up, got everybody to one place, and delivered them to Gideon, and she took off to the fleet. And I expected the fleet to be in full war, battling, and then
when we saw it,
I thought that was going to happen. Up until like I said, I really was, because Armor did a 180 when she found out about the Mythosaur, and then she went to Bo, and it's like, you got to unite everybody. That got them on all together at one place, and then this coordinated attack could happen. And then I was like, okay, I don't know what the motive would be for the Armor with that. That would be something that has to be established. But also, when she was flying to the fleet, right, and the battle was taking place down, Gideon said, launch the TIE fighters and the bombers. And I was like, well, that's to me, I was like, okay, the Armor is going to be the hero up there. Bo is going to be the hero down here, as far as like the leading the battles. Din is
that makes sense, because all the big dogs are down.
Yeah, so I kind of like talked myself out of that, but I mean it's still possible. But I kind of like, okay, no, now the Armor is out in space or orbiting the planet. So when those things, that she can lead that battle, she can be a badass up there.
Cool.
Yeah,
it seems far-fetched. It seems far-fetched that she would betray them. I mean,
I just don't know motive. I wouldn't know motive, right? Like that would be something like, because she's the fanatical, the primitives. They call them all those things.
Even if she's Rook cast, I wouldn't see it, right? Because at this point,
I just don't like what would she benefit from being this right-hand side of Gideon, like stepping next to him and all these things. I just, it was a hard thing but I mean, I don't know. Next week, I think is going to get nuts, and we're going to see a lot of stuff. I didn't even think about the Mandos that were on the planet as the spies. I didn't even think about that. I just bought into their story.
I mean, who really are the spies that are mentioned in the spies?
That's a whole nother question.
The one TK2755 is the only.
That's the only one that's like a spy.
Yeah,
but she's not a plural.
Right, exactly.
So that's what I'm saying. So I think it's the new people, but then it could be the Armorer, which makes sense, because the leader being the spy doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't.
It's shocking. It's a shock. It's one of those things that you look like, what's going to blow our minds, and if she comes out and be like, like I said, the Armorer turns. Like, she set all these up. She united the clans to get them in one place to destroy them.
Well, it's hard when Gideon's helmet matches her. I mean, that's
that too.
But that can that can be kind of explained, because they were Death Watch, right? They're children of the Watch.
Yeah.
So they were Death Watch. And I still think she is, because only the two had horns, right? Gar Saxon and Rook Cast. Yeah. They had horns, right? Yeah. I think that's Rook Cast. I know he's not a Saxon, but he could be a Mandalorian or like that part of the time, or stole a helmet. You know,
I definitely think I definitely think he is bloodline Mandalorian. I think he is a Mandalorian, like a true, born on the planet, became an Imperial Moff. But I do think he is a Mandalorian. Bondage Brittany, if the armor is Imperial, it's going to be a brain-hurting black hole plot of confusion of Last Jedi magnitude.
I agree. Yeah. I mean, they would have to explain it right away because that's going to be too much mess in here.
It is a lot of mess, and I just look at that. I don't know. I maybe it's on purpose to make the audience kind of think that way, because it was the whole mythosaur thing, right? Like when she found out Bo said there's a mythosaur and I seen it. That's when the next scene or the next thing was, Bo, you're one of us, and you can also remove your helmet, and you have to go out and do these things. And then we're on the planet. And, I'm going to take the sick to the fleet, and and it was like it was just too convenient. And
that's what makes it such a good episode. Is all these questions that we have. Even Julie's, I thought of that last comment. Yeah. And where did Gideon get his armor from? That's all brand spanking new. The only one we know is armor. Like, are we being pushed too much to the armorer? Like,
the armor make his? They can make armor anywhere. They make Stormtrooper armor. They just have to be able to melt it. They just do it traditionally with the tools and things, right? Like the Empire would do it in a machine. Yeah. Like a proper a press.
Yeah.
Like the ones who were flying around when they called out, they had Beskar.
Yeah, those guys were made in a press on a factory line. So
those are injection molded. Yeah.
As far as we're kind of the spy, Axe is the other one, right?
Yes.
Axe would be the other one who left.
But I believe, he did. But I do believe they made a point where you had both. I don't even want to call them betas but they are, because they both lost to the leaders, right? Both those people lost to Din and Bo. That's Axe and Paz there. So again, you have characters that are kind of competing in the same world. You got to kill one of them, or make one of them bad. You just killed one of them, so the other one's not going to go bad too. Then you took both your betas away.
Right,
I agree. So it leaves me. This is how my whole day went, because I was armor first thing this morning. I really was. And I was Axe. I was Axe, and I was armor.
Axe. Yeah, I was Axe.
And then I watched it twice. The second time, I'm like, these three fools are the ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. As the armor was used as kind of like a deflection tool. She was up in space. She was taken off to the fleet. We thought she was going to clear those clouds, and there was going to be a battle going on above. That's what I was expecting. That was drawing our attention away from what was happening down below, where everything down below seemed very serene, very calm. Then that giant monster comes up, but it's okay because we found the forge. And then here comes an army. Yeah.
If it ends up being the armor, like I said, Dave Filoni could say, "I gave you breadcrumbs throughout the entire about the."
I know, right?
It's gonna come up when you see the behind the scenes. It's gonna be the left hand over that dude's chest. It's gonna be the Inglourious Bastards 3.
The number 3, yeah, exactly.
That's what it's gonna be.
That's the giveaway.
You.
See,
that would
be great.
That comes out.
That would be great. I wish there's certain ways people make like film things that draws our attention to it. Might not be like say if Din might miss it, but we'll get it. You know what I mean? And a lot of things are like that, are like in the background, and it's not that prominent until the recaps, right? The recaps, it's like, boom, it'll tell us.
Oh, that's what we're dealing with this week. Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna show 30 different Mandalorians. Boom, 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 and then one dude with his left.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
Like
the Darksaber twist last week. Oh my God, telegraph it for me. It's so funny. Yeah.
I mean, it was. There's still that question in the air, and the plural being spies. Mm-hmm. It's just weird, and I think next week everything's gonna be answered as far as like, and then we're gonna have to be like looking for those clues, going backtracking and looking for those things, and really putting it in our database. But
all right, so speaking of backtracking, we got to go back to the first 6 minutes of the episode because we haven't even hit the title yet. So
yeah, right.
We haven't.
That was the cold open.
Yeah,
that was the cold open. Yeah, it really was. But
so he's in the center and he asks for all this stuff, and then they're looking like at each other, right? This is where we know that there's like, if they really do need Thrawn, right? Because do you see them like all look at each other when he's asking, like, can we give it to him? Right. And how
Paleon
he makes himself.
Or the one like Paleon gave the nod to Hux.
Kind of right. Yeah.
I loved it. Yeah. He says, "This gonna be all right." Yeah, do it. Give him the damn guards.
I love it. I love how he asked, and then he questioned like, "Why do you need this much protection? Like, who's coming after you?" 3 Praetorian guards, a fleet of TIE interceptors,
and Pelion says, "Oh, and you think I'm flashy?"
Yeah,
yeah, and bombers, no, and then they're like, "Well, why do you need this protection? Like, why do you need? Do you feel like you're going to be assassinated?" Kind of asked, right?
Yeah,
yeah. I would be like, I just escaped prison or I escaped transport. You know what, guys? I was caught, right? I need some protection.
And I think that answered who saved him, right? It was those white ones with the Beskar alloy.
Yes.
His own, right? Yeah. I'm assuming. I
still don't think it was. We did have Axe in there as when he was a bounty hunter or a mercenary, but
right.
Yeah.
But that was cool. And then we got the Praetorian Guard. I didn't even think we were gonna get like visually later on. I was like, oh crap, Praetorian Guards,
right.
like. And then according to the essentials, right? The Praetorian Guards are like undead, dark force, always in pain, kind of stuff. That could be a byproduct of the Necromancer project too, right?
Yeah. See,
so
there's a lot of back from the dead stuff going on right here. We're gonna end up with zombie Star Wars with
like
what was
actual
it called?
Death Troopers, right?
Death Troopers. Yeah, that's right. All right, so we get to Navarro, right?
Oh, Navarro!
All right. Well, wait.
6
do we do? Oh yeah, this part. That's right. This is right. Okay, Grogu on her lap is out of control now, right? He's completely left in.
Yeah.
He's like, I gotta go get up front. This is cool. But it really does say this is where everybody complains. Like Bo literally takes the front seat in the show.
Yeah.
Right, but
who gives a shit? She is awesome.
I know. I love it. I love it. She's fantastic. And she gives so much life because you can see her face.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Paz and Din and everybody show a lot of emotion through their masks, but it's great to see her and Grogu.
Yeah. And
so the Mandalorian to me has changed every season.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just overall, a title.
It's an umbrella title.
And when I see Grogu,
it can be. Yeah.
When I see Grogu here with her, I really feel this is the showing of Grogu growing and learning, because they're two different ways. Like literally, she said that, right? You walk both paths. Right. So he learns from his dad, and then he's got his cool aunt Bo over here. So I don't want to call her mom. I want to call her cool aunt.
Yeah,
like the one.
Cool. Well, we gotta be careful though, because if they do hook up, then you gotta explain that.
Like she's gonna be the one who lets Grogu drink. Like, as long as you do it in my castle, it's okay. But yeah, so
leave your keys. Oh, this shot of the ships on the screen right here. Everything they did with the ships today was insane.
Yeah, right? Bringing in that fleet was massive, and it felt so good. It felt like, oh crap, like there's an actual, because there's more than just like 3 ships in that fleet. You know what I mean? There's a lot, and they got put to work. Bo has a fleet. It was so good.
It was good. But while we were here, so we land, and Karga is quite excited to see his friends come up, and has a little surprise for Din. So apparently, some whiskey. He did. She got some 1942 Don Julio bottle.
Right.
Oh yeah, the Mandos meet each other outside. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You get your ragtag out here in Ragnar, getting told to take the children inside.
That was cool, right? Take the children in.
We've got to deal with Ragnar next episode, right?
Yeah.
He's got to know
Suddenly
his dad
fatherless.
Died.
Yeah.
Oh man.
They can't let that be. You have to deal with that.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I love when everybody got up here. Everybody immediately took their helmet off. That whole side.
Yeah.
Except Bo. Bo kept her helmet on until the very last minute, and then she took it off to show,
meaning one side took off all their helmets.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of neat.
Can you guys fight now about it? I mean, I feel a little left, like kind of guilty.
No,
about this. Bring Chris and Scott back up. I just want to see them fight about this.
We're good. It's right there. But I don't. But immediately, I just love the aggression there, and then Armor comes out and chills him.
Very tense standoff. Yeah. Very tense, and I love how Bo said, I don't know how this is gonna work. We hate, we're not supposed to get along. Like we don't get along. And then Din was like, if they want to survive,
yeah, they will.
Okay, yeah. And I think that's the whole common purpose. If you want to survive, they have got to put their differences aside. But a very, very cool standoff. I love both, seeing both factions. One's an actual army, and the other ones are,
Man, you know what? I can see it being Axe or Casca, I guess. Because
they wouldn't
have. That would be the surprise though. That would hurt more.
Yeah.
Shit. Yeah, I can see it now. I can see that they didn't like him at first. Just the hate in his eyes right there, right?
Yeah.
You're like, these assholes. I'm going to get him over here. I'm going to turn him in, blah, blah, blah. And then they'll let us have Mandalore back. And then when she tells the story later about how she was hosed by Gideon, somebody's already made a deal. Right?
Yeah.
No matter who it is, because they're all at the table.
Well, then
no matter who, because the new guys are at the table too. So somebody's realizing they're about to not get a deal they expect.
And I'm kind of leaning towards your thing about the new guys, because she's telling a story to them, and their reactions were a little like more emotional about it than
they
the
were
other
shocked,
ones are hearing
right?
it from
they would have had some kind of negative feeling towards her, and they were like, "What?"
Yeah.
And it's
but Casca's kind of like almost spoke up in defense of Bo, and she's like, "No, let me do this." That's interesting. I'm like, okay, I'm the spies. Makes more sense if it's those three or that.
It does. The only other one I said, Axe is outside there just because he would make the decision early as a mercenary, learn these guys, meet these guys, see what Paz did and how they dealt with each other, and then regret it.
But Axe was also saying that he was on Mandalore when it was bombed from the Imperials. I don't see.
So were the spies too.
I don't see.
But they could have just
too much emotion.
They could have been saying that too. That could have been a lie.
No, I believe he was there.
I'm just saying it could have been a lie that because the new guys said the same thing. They were on the planet also.
Yeah,
but going
Axe
to that
was with her. I mean, he's legit. These guys might have been Mandalorian.
If you look back to the season 2 episode with Axe and Casca and Bo, they were all gung ho about taking out Moff Gideon and fighting Moff Gideon.
Yeah,
I just don't see Axe
see those
in
three.
that.
Yeah,
I don't see them betraying her.
No, I'm really on the 3. It's really on the 3. And what if they've been experimented on by Gideon there, and that's why they're even living and out and make a deal? You guys do this, bring them here, and I'll let you out. You
know what? It's right there. They all say we can take you to the Forge. We know where the Forge is. We can take you to the Forge.
That happened to be where Gideon's base was.
That's where Gideon was.
Yeah.
And that's where the Commandos straight came down.
They did.
It's a setup. It's a setup.
Yeah. I think the beginning of next week we're gonna see them running out, and then they're gonna turn and point guns at them, at Bo and them. Yeah. So that's okay. And are they faking on the armor ship then? I'm so sick. And they're gonna come
unless their clone's gone bad and they're really dying. But yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna attack.
That's the way to Trojan horse the
Trojan horse.
Boy. Yep.
Makes that makes a lot of sense then the episode title makes a lot of sense, right? That whole thing. So but
so
going back to
the only episode that didn't make sense, the only title that didn't make
as far as title, right? But when it all comes back to play, that's
and the reason it's not the armorer is because she's the thumbnail.
Is she?
Gotcha.
Yeah,
she's the thumbnail of the episode. Yeah,
so it's definitely not her.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, we're okay. We made it out. We figured it out, guys. So
we're done. We figured out Star Wars.
We're good.
We're only an hour into our episode, and we just figured out what the title
got
means.
to after the Mandalorian title.
But okay, to be fair, we've been through the entire episode, just not in any kind of order.
You're right, 100%. No, 100%. But I do want to talk about Grogu and the mech suit.
That's where I was trying to go. But there were so many cool things when they landed.
So I heard rumors about this, and I was cool with it. And then the Azelian saying no squeeze when
bad baby.
All right, so this is great. Okay, this was the levity of the show. The
here was our first tie-in to the sequels too, Ernie. I forgot about the Azelians.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
But
this whole concept of it, Grogu having a mech suit, it threw two things go in my mind. It's just what the show did, as far as Grogu just being Grogu and he disobeying and just having a ball. But then the potential of Grogu going ape, ham with this IG-12 now, and dude, that would be so fun to watch. Grogu just
beating the shit out of people. I want to see him taking out Stormtroopers, just knocking them around.
We saw what IG-11 can do. Now Grogu with the Force in this mech suit. I mean,
I love it.
He probably should have a blast shield.
Right? Yeah. Right. Yeah. The whole. Well, he's got the thing in his center chest too. But yeah, blast shield worked.
True.
The whole yes/no thing was fantastic.
It really was.
It was used so well, and
okay. What they said to us before the season was Grogu would speak in his own way.
There you go.
And we discussed how it would be the Force, how it would be like he was with Ahsoka when he speak. These were his first words. Were yes.
These were his first. That's exactly what I thought when he was doing this. I was like, he's talking.
Yeah.
Hey guys, he's talking. Yeah. But this was great. That yes. Ernie, we need this at Disneyland stat. We need an IG-12. Just yes.
I can't wait for it. I mean, we should. This is all remote control. It can happen.
Yeah.
Even if they just have him stand in the corner and have Grogu be the remote control in there, it could so work for real.
I love it,
Joey.
I love it. Yeah.
Joey, were you totally feeling Daniel Bryan?
Yes.
Oh God.
I want to see Grogu in a Daniel Bryan shirt.
Yes.
And okay, again, Disney wise, how come we do not have Melurons yet?
Right? I agree. They could just use dragon fruit.
I don't care what you do, but I want. Yes, I know. Okay.
Yeah.
It's on it. I love
Done.
It.
But brilliant. I haven't seen anybody honestly like balk at this. The whole Krang usage of this, it's freaking awesome.
This I had my worries about it. This has been one of those all season waits, and
okay,
it worked perfectly.
Yeah. When the season started, Chris had asked us, after a show if we wanted to know a spoiler, and Marco, you said no, but everybody else was like, yeah, sure. And that was Chris's spoiler, was Grogu in a mech suit. And we're like, wait, what? And immediately I'm like, that's gonna be dumb, but no, it's not dumb.
It's not dumb. It works.
It's quite great. It's quite awesome.
And it works because of the potential.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's the potential. Like,
he's already in a thing, right? In a pram. Screw the pram. Now he's a warrior. I'm in.
Yeah.
Right? I'm like, go do stuff.
He just needs a jetpack at this point.
And a rifle.
Because I love the fact that during the episode they had to take him and jet him off.
That was cool. They immediately pause and Axe both grabbed him.
I think it was them. Yeah. They had to work together and bring. That is great because that it's important to see the clans accepting Grogu and all that stuff, and when Grogu broke up the fight with Paz and Axe.
Okay, here's my little weird bit here.
Yeah.
Because Din says, "Should I break it up?"
Right.
And Bo says, "We're not supposed to break it up."
Yeah.
Right?
Like everybody should know that.
Then Grogu breaks it up. And Bo says, "You taught him well. You just said he shouldn't break it up." And then Din, who says, "I'm going to break it up," says, "I didn't teach him that." That was completely like the really bad writing right there.
No. I feel like that.
So.
Yeah, that was the her saying no is them of kind of being leaders at that point. Everybody looking at them. So you're supposed to let them have their little aggression between two sides. If one of us goes to tell them to stop or help,
it's going to
put more conflict because of the favoritism. So for him to do it and stop it, that's what I think she was saying as far as, wow, you taught him good. And he's like, I didn't teach him that. So that's where I think the no was from.
So
was
you're
because
seeing like
the two of us can't step in. We're the representatives of both sides.
So is Grogu seen as a neutral player in this?
Yes.
Just as they showed when you were just talking about of both of them saving him.
That makes sense.
They both save him.
Well, they all bought it. So, like, they all was like, yeah, all right, kid, I got it.
Yeah. It was just an interesting turn of sentences in 5 seconds.
I went there, too,
No,
Chris.
it was.
Like, I went there. I was like, wait a second. If they think if Grogu's one of them, and he's proven himself, like, with things, and wait a second, he stepped in to stop. I thought you were supposed to stop it. But I also think Grogu is probably like, they're not going to stop until one's dead. And not even
those two would be tough because didn't he even tell Din to kill him when they fought? Why is that in my head? He's all just kill me or just take me or finish it or something like that.
Yeah.
You're right.
They're
So Grogu is a lot of things because yes, we've seen him with the Mandalorian, right? And he's his foundling. Then we get the shot just of that of showing up in his lap, Bo's lap.
No,
yeah,
so
yeah. And now you have him here stepping in the middle with nobody telling him. And because remember the look when they mentioned Jedi, remember, and he turns and looks.
That's right.
He represents so much. So here is everything as far as he is the one to step in and tell them no that we all need to come together or we're not doing nothing.
Absolutely.
This ain't gonna work.
Yeah. No, I agree. But
so do you think when Gideon clones Grogu and Din together, it will make a little Din or a big Grogu?
I think it's just gonna be a Din with big ears. That's all.
Pedro Pascal with huge ears,
with the triangle ears.
He turns into a Vulcan.
It's gonna be none of it, Chris, because of Pershing says we splice in DNA. We splice it in like abilities.
Well,
so it can look like
you got to splice in a look. How's
well,
look?
Well, you use Gideon as the base, and then you splice in all the super powers.
That's right. I'm just messing with that.
But that'd be funny as hell, though.
I know.
He has a little thin mustache, and then his big ears.
Is this where we're gonna get our dark side Grogu? If they clone him?
Oh, okay.
Do you think there's a chance? Sorry, I didn't mean to jump. I just see this face right here, and all I see is clone him and F him up. Like, make him evil and make him fight himself.
I got you.
It's just in my head. I don't know why.
I was thinking of a different version of what you just said. I've kind of like this. Okay, this is what I want to happen, right? Or this is what I kind of foresee. Din's captured, and then all hell's breaking loose on this space and all that stuff. And Grogu's going to go nuts, and he's going to go ham in this mech suit.
100%.
And I think what I want is him to unleash a force power, like something where he can't control it. Happened because of emotions, kills people in the process, maybe saves the day, but also destroys at the same time. That's a plot for an unstable power that they have to explore going into season 4. Go
ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I'm just saying it'd be a great kind of like usage of Grogu's powers to grow and stuff, but also he can't control. That's the dark side, because Ahsoka even mentioned there's a lot of fear in him, and that's dangerous for Jedis in general. It'd just be a great plot point going.
The last two seasons and the season finales, we've had everybody rushing to rescue Grogu. Grogu's been in distress. Everybody rushing and help Grogu. This time it's Din. Din's in trouble. You bet your ass Grogu's going to come unleashed. And I have no doubt that that's going to happen.
Okay, unleashed in and out of the suit. I think he's going to get so worked out. They're about to kill Din. Something's going to happen to Din, and he's going to Hulk bust out of the IG-11.
Yeah, I think the energy is going to
force push everything the suit. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
That's some animation stuff they would do in a Clone Wars episode or a Rebels episode that you didn't think they would do in live action.
Right.
That they need to do in live action.
That's what I'm saying. And then it's almost like it scares people. It scares Din of what Grogu just did. That kind of emotion where thank you, but okay, we got to put a lid. We need Luke to put a lid on this. We need Luke Skywalker, so another Jedi, because I can't train him in this aspect. And something is going to be like where it's unstable and he actually hurt other people, and it could be like where it maybe kills Casca or Bo or somebody important. And like I think that would be a great conflict to explore. I really do. That would be cool.
Sunflower. This is a. I've seen this online today.
Which one? The last one she did?
Yes. They've made a big deal lately in 2 different shows about mind flaying.
Oh, mind flay. Yeah. Miss Sunflower is saying, I hope Din does not get rescued, though. I want Gideon to mind flay him like Pershing.
Right. Now, the reason I'm okay with it, and I think it might happen, because I believe that they've also shown Luke bring out memories from Grogu.
Right.
And maybe Grogu's even been mind flayed in that same machine, and maybe that's why he had trouble. That's why he has a bad memory. We don't know if he's been in there or not. But if they take him back to Luke or Ahsoka or whatever, maybe they can pull some memories back out of him and get Din back to normal. So I think for a while they flay him, screw him up, and then...
But also, like he kind of did pledge allegiance to Bo at this point, right? He says, I'm following you. And he almost like set a path that maybe a mind, like I said, if he does get this whole memory wipe it, then you revert back to... something else, like some other trajectory on a storyline or a plot that his what he's going for, because it almost seemed kind of final. Like after this is done, we're joining forces, and I'm going to be a part of rebuilding Mandalore, and have a house, and
They should have just stayed on Navarro.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, Navarro is perfect for them, dude. But
they were there for 5 whole minutes.
Let's go. We just fueled up.
Hey, thanks for the armor. Bye.
Oh yeah. Okay, Miss Sunflower is saying this. Now this is interesting. So she's saying, and Din will forget all about the Creed and Grogu. Gideon will make Din his most capable general for the Super Commandos.
Oh my god!
Wow, that's a twist, man.
See, here's the thing. I would love all that, but we have 1 episode.
Yeah.
And they're going to clean it all up. They're not going to leave us on a cliffhanger, they said.
Yeah, I think next week is going to be more battle, and like I said, some.
They could have done
it's going to end where they're going to shake hands and they go back their own ways. It's like,
I do think that Din they're going to find Din, and he will not have his helmet on. I think he will be exposed again in front of all the Mandalorians.
Yes. Which might not matter anymore. Like, it might not matter with going forward. It depends on who survives and all that stuff. That whole Creed thing, and we'll see what the armor is all about. We'll see we'll have to see things, and we're gonna have to see if he swears by Bo, and he maybe he's seeing more of the light with Bo-Katan's thing. Maybe he can walk that way without doing the Children of Watch. Children of Watch might be all destroyed after this. Who knows? Like, we got Paz gone, the armor might be gone, and there might be no more where it's just too hard for that kind of lifestyle, and the only way to carry on is to go the Mandalorian way, the Night Owls. I don't know. Well, there's a lot of things to throw out there because there's so many directions, right?
And I want to say they keep it simple, but sometimes they don't. And the finale is the one that's going to be.
And like I said, right? Like Dave Filoni could be like, dude, I gave you all the hints that the armor was bad from these are all it, and we're like twisting it, turning it, massaging it this way, and like this is what we get. Very interesting. Again, it all makes for great talk, and that's why we do this, because it's boring.
Who was the character? Who was the one that said the children of the Watch are dead or they're no more?
The armor.
It was the armor, right?
Death Watch. She said about. I asked them, "Are you Death Watch?" She says Death Watch is it's been broken and splintered to the point where it's unrecognizable, kind of deal.
And so many warring factions.
Yeah. It's Sunflower saying, if they mindfully, Din's helmet's gone. Yeah, I agree. When we pick it up, Din's going to be helmetless. The armor's going to be in full on space battle.
Yeah, they literally got to pick it up immediately. Like we're continuing the episode.
This is one big episode.
They'll be pulling Din into the room type of thing, and Gideon will unmask him like an ass.
That's what they do in the finales. That's what they do in the finales of the episodes. They remove his helmet.
Time. But guess what? Yeah. Guess where they're at right now? They're on Mandalore, baby. And guess what's down there?
Yeah.
He can go redeem again.
And get a mythosaur while he's down there.
Boom. Party time.
I wonder.
God, that's what's going to happen.
That is what's going to happen.
He's going to go grab the mythosaur and ride it into battle.
Who you said, Din or Bo? Who did you say?
He said Bo.
Oh, Bo. Yeah.
I say Din. I say Grogu. Really is what's.
Oh God, what if Bo and because I think
it has to be Grogu. Honestly, Grogu needs to be involved.
Grogu has to tame it somehow or help tame it. Yeah. And then she rides it in and saves the day.
One of the coolest things about this episode that we haven't touched yet is we finally learned how it is that Bo-Katan lost the Darksaber.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because we had been debating how that had happened. And go ahead. I'm sorry. I interrupted you.
Who, me or Chris?
Yeah, you.
I didn't.
No, I was just agreeing. Like that was something that was explored. Like, that was like a check mark. Boom. Okay. Boom.
Yeah.
Something that we always needed. Yeah.
It seems so simple, He was the ISB agent in charge of Mandalore. They were bombing Mandalore. She surrendered, turned the Darksaber over to him to free the people, to make sure that the rest of the cities on Mandalore weren't destroyed. Then he betrayed her, destroyed everything. So technically, he won the Darksaber through deception. He didn't actually win the Darksaber. So is he truly the rightful owner of the Elder Wand? I mean, the Darksaber.
If you destroy the planet, I think that counts.
Okay,
it was in that dialogue again, though. What were you just saying? What was that part? Oh, when she said the part that made the dude kind of jerk his head, when she said, "I didn't," or we did surrender.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? Because he was saying they did this because we wouldn't surrender. Kind of like not blaming her, but looking at her, right? And that's the part why he would have spied on her, said, and Gideon would have said, "You surrender, I won't do the same thing to you," because she didn't surrender. And then she's look. Their hands are opposite.
You.
Yeah. Dude in the middle has the wrong arm up. So
that's son hilarious. Of a
winner, chicken dinner.
Yeah.
Shoot, I forgot. But anyway,
she handed over
when she says that, when he realizes he was probably told, if you surrender, you won't see the same fate that Bo saw, because she wouldn't surrender. And when she says, I did surrender, the dude's like, what? He told me.
Yeah.
You know,
and that's the same guy who had the wrong arm up there saluting. So you know he's your spy.
Boom.
Yep. Hey, Miss Sunflower, Skinny Pete from Breaking Bad was in it. Absolutely, I got that.
Oh yeah,
the one dude.
That was Skinny Pete. I'm like, what?
They're on the
from?
right.
Yeah.
Skinny Pete.
It was killing me. I'm all, is he in Game of Thrones?
Right. Yeah. Skinny Pete. Good call.
I thought maybe he was one of the pirates from Pirates of the Caribbean.
I thought so too, right? Like
the really stupid one. Yeah.
Thought it was that actor.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Oh, good eye. That is.
Yeah. The whole dark saber and control is all. It's kind of. It's not set in stone, right? So, like I was rewatching Rebels, and when Sabine had it, and she was questioned, like, you didn't win it, so it's not really yours. And the guy took it from her, and then Ezra threw her I forgot, it was Saxon, or was it Saxon? No.
Yeah.
Saxon, where she was fighting, and Ezra threw her the saber, and she beat him, then took the saber. So I'm like, okay, well, there it is. If he claimed it and then she beat him, now she's officially the champion of the saber.
Yeah.
So in a sense, like, Gideon taking it from Bo, in a threatening way, like a manipulative way, and then Din, beating him, so he's the rightful thing. And then Bondage Brittany, Gideon won through combat as war leader, accepting a surrender of other war leader, but not through personal combat. So it depends on how. I agree, and that's exactly what Din said the last episode to Axe Wolves in the gang, right? Essentially, I was defeated. Both defeated the person I did. So, ergo, she's the thing. It's all about the story.
So, but how Gideon got it? Yeah, is it?
Yeah, I agree. Now, Scott brought it up that Gideon might be Mandalorian by blood or whatever. Would be really very cool, because I honestly, like, before that sentiment, I was like, I don't think Gideon really cares how he got it. He just got it. Like, he doesn't care if he won it in combat. He takes it,
but
and
he really wants it. And
he
still wants it. I mean, he desperately wants this thing. Hand me my saber. Give me the saber back.
Yeah. But at first I was like, he just wanted that as a symbol to, and then he would raise an army for himself, and he can lie, because he's not a purist in that way. Like, after this is before this episode, he wasn't, like, to me, he wasn't a purist, even though he came in a full Mandalorian suit. I don't know. There's still a lot there with Gideon. There's still a lot there, I think.
For one more episode.
Yeah, for one more. That episode better be like 8 hours, dude.
Okay. So jumping around here, back to let's go to Boba Fett for a second, because I want to know how
Boba Fett. All right,
Ernie, how would you bring in Boba Fett? It's just stuck in my head.
It's just so hard. I don't know either, because of
that's what she said.
This last episode. We were getting so much here, the title of the spies. Who is the spy? Who's bad? They take Din. Bo wants to fight. They run away. Paz is now dead. Where did Axe go? What is going to happen to the fleet up there? So what's hard about this is this big ambush, and what's going to happen is honestly, what can Boba bring? Like, you have a Rancor.
How would he even know?
Correct. That's what I'm saying. Somebody has to go tell him. It's too hard. I can't even bring him in as fan fiction. I really can't.
But I mean, there's no way the Mandalorians can beat the Empire with what they have, right? I mean, that doesn't feel like that would work. So you're going to need a fleet. You're going to need, and I don't know who. The New Republic's not going to help.
Carson,
they could. I mean, Carson. Yeah. I mean, Carson knows that Gideon escaped. He knows he was taken by somebody with Beskar armor.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how he would put 2 and 2 together to end up on Mandalore.
The Beskar part is where is that? I mean, what if they
R5?
R5 is with
R5.
that's
R5 is there.
He's been in the ship the whole time.
R5's the key.
He could be sending it. Yeah.
Now, he could tell Peli
last time.
He could send Peli a message to get Boba.
No, that too.
R5 R5 knows everybody. R5 knows Carson. R5 knows Peli.
The stress signal.
Was R5 with Jack Black? I didn't see him on that planet, right?
He was in the ship.
No.
He was in the ship. He never came out. He was in the ship.
Oh, that's
so
right.
He could know the droids.
Dude.
By talking to them.
He has absolute connection to all 3 places he needs to communicate to.
The Mandalorian for season 3 is R5.
I just got the visuals, Chris. Like I just got the visual of R5 somehow gets to the R5, whatever, and the distress signal, and he just gone like instantly, and you see like Boba Fett hologram light up. You see Jack.
Chills, stupid chills for something that will never happen.
Everybody,
never happen. Like, totally cool.
And then
you're right.
Like Lizzo get her cell phone up or whatever they use.
Exactly.
On it, red button, let's go.
And I think it's going to be like where the fleet, whatever was up there, like the armor had barely escaped, and so everything's hanging around because you got to have a little bit of time. But then, like Gideon, it gets to think there's something on the horizon, and it's
even more so if Carson gets his distress signal while he's back at the bar.
Yes,
Zeb, everybody, all the different factions.
The ghost
and you
crew
want
freaking
shows
up.
Gideon because
just swinging for the fences.
Well, we have
I'm saying though honestly, right?
Here.
Because we need this to go because this is secretly how the First Order is starting, right?
No.
So we don't know, and they're really going to be thinking, "Oh, we took out Gideon. That was the only big bad."
Yeah. But the thing is, when they do this, right, it's going to be like you're throwing all of your punches at once.
Right.
Yeah.
And then it's not the real threat.
It's all the allies.
And then you realize, oh shit, we had everything. That was everything we had. We had Boba and Fennec and Cobb and a Rancor and a Mythosaur and we had battle droids and we had all these things, right? Yeah. And we barely won, barely scraped through. Here comes Thrawn.
That's what I'm saying.
You're like, what do we do now? What do we do?
Going
now?
around. What's up, man? Welcome. Yeah, you pulled all your allies that you made through this whole season, and
as
all the other
does
seasons.
every year.
Yeah, exactly. They come save the day, and then at that last meeting, the Chimera just shows up or whatever, and then like in either Gideon's dead or just look up like
it won't necessarily show up, but we'll know it's there. We know we just won this fight. They don't have to show up again. They can have their little victory. But the thing is, you don't realize there's a bigger fleet, and that Gideon's was nothing.
Yeah.
And that's going to be the cutscene. And it took everything they had. Yeah,
that's got to be the end credit scene. It's got to be.
Thrawn.
It's the Chimera coming up, and you see the painted. That's the whole reason why they would show the Mandalorian painted. Is them like now we're looking at the underbelly of this Star Destroyer and like, oh come on.
And it tricked me because it only started out with a couple lines, and I'm all, that's not right.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but I couldn't tell it was a Mythosaur on it. I'm like, that was cool.
When it goes through,
the very first shot, it was only the bottom lines.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm like, what is? Is that are we showing a Chimera that close on Navarro?
That's great, man. That's a great little scenario.
Cool
that seems like a what we just outlined was like a series finale, not a season finale.
It's the movie. It's the movie that Filoni's working on. Is what we just outlined.
It's like I said, a series finale. Something that's like just going back to Gideon and those super commandos. Well, I'm just calling them super commandos, right?
That's what I think I'd call them, yeah.
Okay, yeah. They're so I was reassured today, another fight that I had today, that they were Beskar and I was really paying attention the next time I was watching it. And yes, they are deflecting laser blasts, and they also are getting hit in soft spots. Like when they fall, they're getting hit in the belly.
They are
neck.
Good CGI and paying attention because we're all like that.
Like I said, when I watched it last night, I was like, "Oh, these guys are getting cut down by butter. They can't be Beskar." Like I thought they were just regular, just Gideon soldiers, right? Just a new whatever. But then, again, having more arguments and watching it again, it was good. I'm satisfied. I owe Mike a beer, by the way.
Sabersmith, we kind of saw them in Rebels, but those were Mandalorians.
Those were actual Mandalorians. Now, Chris's theory, and I'm agreeing with this. I think those are clones in those
Gideon clones.
Yeah, Gideon clones or his own experimental clones in there, because nobody talked. They were just there. They grunted, and maybe we can analyze the grunts when they were. But
do I have Chicken Man grunts from Better Call Saul?
Yeah, here's our interceptor fleet, dude. This whole scene was just amazing. Like,
it looked like
I love it.
Yeah,
they look like bats hanging upside down.
Yeah,
that's so awesome. And when they opened up again, right? Why does Gideon have all the opening ships?
He does. Yeah,
cool stuff.
He modifies all of them.
Oh, right there. That's when Din's getting jacked up. The whimpers.
Yep.
When he was out there by himself, first of all, I thought it was awesome, and he was doing a great. I thought it was like, man, Din's badass.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. How he was just fighting, taking him out, had every weapon going, and then got beaten. I'm like, well, what are you gonna do? And then Paz came out there and did it. Right?
And they knew, exactly. And they knew how to do it too, because again, having that Mandalorian gene or spliced or whatever, they know how to fight themselves and distance and wrangling. They wrangled him, you know.
Yeah.
And it was actually a really smart move. But oh my God, here is the next gen Dark Trooper, Moff Gideon, and he even called himself the next gen Dark Trooper. You guys helped me with because the ones we saw Luke Skywalker cut down. Fantastic, right? I mean,
it looks great.
He's a Mandalorian. I mean, it's like,
that's what I'm saying. He's. I like the fact that the visor is red too. It just goes with the whole scheme. I love it.
He has completely appropriated the culture.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or he is part. Or he has always been part of it.
Or he's been part of it.
Yeah. Or he's like that would be cool too. Joey, we lost Joey. His internet went out. So sorry, Joey.
We're all much bigger. What happened?
I know. Let's talk about Paz.
Okay.
So Paz, this was, to me, it was okay. Like when he got trapped and he sacrificed himself and Bo was like, we're escaping, and those two had that moment, right? You know, like they took Din away, and then Bo was like, you want the saber, you know, like you're gonna have to fight us basically, and then Paz was like, this is the way, and then Bo goes
that was it while it was still open, right? He said, give me the saber. And she looks at him, nods. He's this is the way. And the great thing is, they're different factions. They did not like each other a couple episodes ago, and they are totally in sync right now. Let's go.
That was
So she hides back and cuts the hole, and they start blasting the door for no reason.
Yeah, exactly. I think they started blasting in case they like find openness up to stall. Yeah. You know, like they're not going to open it right now, but so he gets that moment. Right? Yeah,
but she says, "Come on, we're good, we're clear," and he's this is the way, and then closes the door and pulls this move.
This is great, man. Like, okay, so he held his own, dude. He was blasting them and fight, and then when his
took
gun
out every super commando he took out, every super commando.
His gun overheated, and he went brute force, dude. It was like
he threw the gun. He was tackling them. He was kicking them over the edge of the cliffs. Why their jetpacks weren't working, I don't know. But
he dragged that one. I love the fact that he dragged one and like slid it off the rail.
Yes.
Oh yeah, he was.
I love that they showed the gun heating over, because at one point I was like, so we have infinite like bullets or lasers in Star Wars, you know, something I never thought of before.
Up until it overheats, right? It's a big Battlefront move.
It was
because
great.
in Battlefront you have to vent heat all the time.
Oh, so really? That's awesome. Then
you can have unlimited ammo, but it's in spurts. You have to let the cool down or vent heat or whatever. So it's like a video game move right there. But
so
he just was
heat up to that. That was awesome.
Yeah, unbelievable. Yeah, I agree. He did get a royal death in this, and then when these
the music change when they came out was awesome.
The music, the way they came out, how intimidating. They made quick work of them, which they should have. I applaud that. Where Paz shouldn't have put up a fight. They made quick work with them, and they just walked out just like
done.
So intimidating and so evil, and just kind of like
So did this go through the armor or no?
Which I took
this looks like it went through the armor.
That's what I thought too.
I grabbed this screenshot specific because it's really hard, right? Because I was asking earlier in the thing, me and Scott were kind of like, I think they're hitting gaps because They're pretty good at this. That one's really close to the side, really close to the armor. I can't tell.
Right.
Now, and the rest of the fight, they have him up in the top shoulder. They've got him in the kidney, places where there's no protection. This one is a hard one to tell.
Right.
But
it's close. It looks like it's going into the stomach armor, but there is that little space between stomach armor and chest plate.
Yeah.
That there is a little gap. They could sneak it in there.
If they're that trained, right? They know how to beat. I don't know. It's hard. I don't know if I want to I want them to just to say these are Beskar piercing weapons, so it makes it easier on me.
That and maybe his he didn't get that part upgraded. Maybe it's still a mix. I don't know. There's so many different things, right? It's like there's a lot of different Beskar things going for. Like I always considered Din Djarin having the purest Beskar and the purest one that would deflect almost everything, even orbital bombardments. I mean, he wouldn't survive, but the armor would.
Yeah.
And then I think just like Bo, she has a pure Beskar shoulder pauldron, and I don't know about her other one if it's Beskar or not, or pure.
She was getting hit left and right. She got hit in the gut a couple of times. I think she even got hit in the chest, and she was fine.
Oh, yeah, she's had that armor in her family for generations. That's pure Beskar.
Okay, yeah. I mean, a lot of them were getting there was a lot of deflect. Even on the those super commandos, they were getting deflections. I know,
picture.
But I mean, honestly, it was not a vain death. It was just perfect, dude. I really you stop breathing after a while. It's like I really felt like Chris was saying, like, they really buy into a character right before they're dead, right before the death. He was a badass through the whole every time we got him, but at this episode we grew to like him.
Like I didn't want to figure when they brought him out. Right? I didn't care. Yeah, it wasn't like when there's I'm going to go get that Black Series. Now I'm like, oh man, I really wish I had a pause.
A heavy Mando. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
A heavy ass Mando.
Yeah, and so Jon Favreau killed himself in this one. So it was good.
It was good stuff. It was really cool. Hey, by the way, we never seen that was the first time with the armor or jetpack, right?
Yes.
She didn't use it, but that was the first time we seen it. So that was cool.
Yeah.
So that means it's coming in a second.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. There's no reason to have it if it's not going to make an appearance and used.
Yeah.
Or an action figure.
Damn it.
Right.
Throw a little backpack on
her. You're right.
Call it deluxe.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's $40 now with jetpack.
45
for a 3 3/4 inch one.
Sorry.
Yeah, right.
Oh, 3 3/4. Yeah, we're hitting the 40. Yeah.
Yeah, guys. So I was like I said, it ended in that down note. Of course, to build everything up for next week and everything. And wow, I didn't expect this much going on. This even at the 7th episode, right, of this series. I thought this was a lot of like finale stuff going on. So hold on to the finale. What have you heard from that? I mean, I did. Only thing I heard is that the last 2 episodes are going to blow us away. That's what I heard before Celebration, and
everything I heard that I thought was the finale has kind of happened in smaller bits. That I'm like, oh, that rumor was right, but it was elsewhere, and it was a lot small. Even today, just to bring up like that lava monster thing, right? I thought that was going to be way bigger, different. It was huge. That's what I meant. I mean, like the scene, the fight, the problem.
Yeah.
I'm glad it wasn't. I'm glad it wasn't. I'm glad it was.
Oh
quick.
Yeah, the monster. Yeah.
But I was like, oh, another monster thing. I was
glad they cut it short. I was glad they cut it short. I was
me too.
Yeah.
I knew that Ragnar and Grogu were going to duel.
Right.
But I thought it was going to be a duel.
Oh, I got you.
You know what I mean? Like a couple episodes ago, and that kind of stuff. So it's like they give things, but you kind of mix them up. And
when you have something this big of a creature, I'm just sitting there going like, well, how did they handle these things before? Like that they could take out like that whole Mandalorian city. You know what I mean? Well, where was these kind of huge creatures before? Well,
it got erupted from the bombing. It woke up the Mythosaur. It's like they have kaiju underground.
Yeah.
And that's what Bo said whenever they landed. I don't know the exact quote, but it was something about the bombings had reawakened other species, other things that
opened other chasms and other deep.
I forget
Balrogs
the
and
exactly. The dwarves dug too deep.
Exactly.
Balrog.
Shit.
Basically. I love it. Everything grew.
Well, even when they went to the mines, right? Didn't you not get that vibe? Like you were in the
absolutely
in the dwarf cavern.
With the monsters in the caverns and the caves with the glowing eyes and all that.
100%.
Absolutely.
Ready to see dwarves.
And Beskar is mithril, so we're all here. It's all nerdy shit, man.
Wow, it really is all there.
Yeah.
It really was.
Yeah. It's cool, man.
Now, when I first saw that monster kind of rear up, I was hoping that was the mythosaur.
I did too. I did too. I was like,
and then it was some
dinosaur looking thing. It looked like the dinosaur with I forgot what it's called, but it has the ball for the tail, like
the ankylosaur. Ankylosaur. Yeah.
So
dinosaur nerd.
So I've seen the question a couple of times. Who were the Praetorian Guards serving before they went to Gideon?
Well, they were on Hux's control.
Yeah,
but they kind of have just like
Project
a supply of people, right, and things. So, yeah, I suppose they each probably have them. I suppose everybody. I bet you Pelion has a couple. I bet you because some people have Death Troopers, right? I mean, Gideon has Death Troopers.
Most ISB
And
has
Death
Death Troopers, right? Like the
ISB
Death Troopers tend to follow.
I don't know if each one had them though, because he specifically asked them to get them.
I mean, each one like Pelion and Hux.
Oh,
yeah.
They have the supplies. They're like the supply chain for the Empire, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But maybe these Praetorian Guards are kind of taking the role of Nograi.
Maybe.
Like the protectors of Grand Admiral Thrawn. I mean, that's
maybe. Absolutely possible.
Mm.
I kind of like the feeling. I kind of wish we would rename the old Royal Guards Praetorians and think that they were just there the whole time. Right? Yeah. Like, I don't know why. I just feel like it would be cool if it just continued and they had...
Well, I mean, Emperor's Royal Guard, I mean, that's not like an official... I mean, that's more of like an official title where a Praetorian... I mean, it's kind of the same thing.
True.
Well, they're supposed to be that role, right? They're guarding the highest of the
And in the modern version of the figures, whenever you pull the cloak back, they are wearing armor.
Their
like
armor,
Praetorian
right?
Guard.
Yeah.
True.
In the comics, they show it. Remember all
that?
those ones that we get of the different ones?
What was the name of that one Imperial Guard?
Figures.
Dark Empire.
Yeah,
but the guard itself,
Crimson
they had
Empire.
Crimson Empire.
God, what was his name? Somebody in chat will come up with it before I.
Tomax and Zaymot.
Tomax and Zaymot. Yeah.
Tomax and Zaymot. Yeah, the Crimson.
You're talking about the one that had the wrong figure's name.
Yes.
Yeah, Carner Jax. Carner Jax. And yeah. Okay.
Yes.
I knew I'd get there eventually.
So,
Tomax.
Yeah, Praetorian Guards are a fantastic addition, and this being this early too. That's what was kind of like cool about it too, because 6 years. Return of the Jedi, you know what I mean? Like they're early on and not like a sequel thing, right? I mean, that's big time out there. Where these guys are here now. They're here early, which is great because again, that's the start of all these things. Now, it's kind of like thinking about the plot and Star Wars in general and how this fits all in as far as like how this whole arcing storyline that's going on with the First Order and Exegol. So like my mind is always going towards Exegol and Thrawn, like two separate things that are happening now that are going to split until we get Snoke and the First Order and Exegol, the Emperor and the Sith Eternal. Like how, and I'm always trying to like, okay, how does this split into these two things where in the sequels, they didn't know, they knew of each other, but didn't work together. Like they weren't a thing. Like the First Order didn't know anything about the Sith Eternal and the Emperor's fleet, and like there's like, oh crap, he's here. What does he want? My thing is now I had Gideon in on this too, but to now that we've been talking about this,
Pride knew.
Yeah. So like Gideon, now that we've been talking about this, I think he's working alone or working for himself. I thought he was working for the Emperor, not anymore. Here's one of my theories about Project Necromancer. Okay. Necromancer produces the Snokes. Now, the Snoke is an acronym for something. It could be where they're producing something that could raise the dead. Like a Necromancer is a wizard that raises the dead. I look at Snoke and I'm looking at it through the sequels and everything. I'm looking like, he seems like a dark wizard, not a, so much of a Sith, like an Emperor type. To me, I'm thinking like, what if Snoke was created and it worked, right? He's doing all these things and it working, but he takes its power from himself and leaves the Emperor for the dead. Like he doesn't raise the Emperor and he doesn't work with them and he takes it for himself and uses Thrawn's fleet and Thrawn's return to build the First Order for his own thing. That's why he calls himself Supreme Leader. And then you have the Sith Eternal rescuing the Emperor's essence or body or clone or whatever, going off to Exegol, and now the Emperor's waiting for the Dyad or the Snoke bodies, whatever. And then you got the Sith Eternal building, and that's the whole huge dark faction building over in Exegol, while Snoke kind of like did his own thing. He broke off from like that main objective, and now he's supreme leader. Like they created a monster kind of deal.
I think the Emperor controlled him the whole time, and I
think so.
I think Thrawn is loyal to the Emperor. Just not loyal like I my heart to the Emperor. Blah. But I think he's working that plan. I think that's like the exact plan. I think he's.
Well, I'm kind of almost going like upon Thrawn's death, where the remnants of Thrawn's fleet and the Imperials become the First Order. And that's when Snoke kind of takes control of that. Now, I don't know. I kind of like that fact if it was because it makes more sense that Snoke would be this separate thing that broke off and created this whole thing and left the Emperor for dead, like disregarded that. Instead of the Emperor on Exegol and then manipulate.
But they've already made it clear that the Emperor was pulling the strings, and we see Snoke. That would be too far rewriting it right now.
We do. I can almost explain it to where it's like every dark thought that you had was me. It doesn't mean if I was actually necessarily pulling the strings, but I am the essence of my inevitable goal is the dark side. Like I'm talking about like the Emperor himself talking to Kylo and all these people, right? And so even if Snoke, like I'm saying, I think they were merged at one point and then it split. Like Snoke was supposed to raise the Emperor's essence. The necromancer raising the Emperor from the dead, and he didn't do it, and so he tried to like destroy the Emperor, and he got whisked off to Exegol while Snoke continued to rise in power and do his own thing. I'm just kind of like trying to.
I think that'll complicate it too much.
It does rewrite things, but also you can explain it on a certain point of view level of when the Emperor is talking to Kylo, because again, it's fleeting mention. They don't go too deep, so where you could kind of rewrite these things and say like Snoke was in your ear, it was actually like in a certain point of view, it was me. It wasn't actually me. Darth Vader was in your ear. It's it's your own thoughts, But yeah, so I don't know. I mean, that's just something like we have a lot of time on our hands. We think about a lot of stuff, right?
Right.
I've got the acronym almost figured out. I need something for the letter E, but I've got Sheev's new old killable something.
Exo skin.
Sheev's now on.
Oh, okay.
Camino.
Or Exegol. So
or
we just need K. Now we need K. Sheev's now on Exegol.
So dumb. I love it.
Oh man.
But
that's
anyway,
what it is. That's what it is. And we just need to figure out the K. We've got this whole thing cracked.
Yeah.
I think right now we're getting to the point where I think I see it just as Pelion is obviously working for the Emperor and Thrawn, right? And Hux, as we know, is going First Order. So the combination of those two lead me to believe that Thrawn is going to be First Order, setting up the First Order.
Right.
That he is the one, because we know and through the books and everything that the Emperor and Thrawn had secret meetings talking about the unknown regions, because there was something out there he needed to know. It wasn't just the enemy out there. There was dark side stuff he needed to know. The Force out there. So he was getting access. He was learning about Exegol, all this stuff. Thrawn knows about it.
Yeah.
So
and we need the Sentinels. We need the Sentinels.
When,
the Emperor Sentinels with Thrawn. We need that.
Oh my God! Yes.
We need that.
And when Thrawn is killed, they need somebody to fill that power vacuum of the heir to the Empire, and that's where you get Snoke. You have the new body of Snoke to come in and take over where Thrawn is killed. When Thrawn is killed.
Yeah.
No
as
spoiler alert
leader,
for anybody
right.
who's ever read the novels or anything like that. And we've seen the sequels. Thrawn's not in them.
He dies.
He doesn't make it out alive of this whole thing.
Yeah,
he didn't make it out of the trilogy of books.
Right.
No.
Right.
No. Betrayed.
He came back, but it wasn't even him. Remember the other one?
Outbound Flight.
Yeah. What the hell?
Yeah.
Or Spectre of the Past.
I thought it was
Outbound Flight.
That's a different one. That's a prequel.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm trying to catch up on chat, man. They're being awesome today.
Yeah. They're awesome all the time.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We're talking about you're throwing the Night Sisters thing with the Necromancer thing, and
that's what. Okay, that's the Ahsoka stuff coming up. So she is going to be a necromancer, like literally. But that's what throws it off when you know that, and you know they say Project Necromancer, but you know both of them, right? So there might be some kind of combination there using that witch, the Night Sister, to try to resurrect the Emperor too. It probably takes all this kind of stuff, dark magic.
Yes.
Cloning, all sorts of things to make this work.
Like I said, Lama
great.
Su said,
Gordon, thanks a lot. I just started reading Heir to the Empire.
Oh, if you haven't got the ending of Heir to the Empire from all of our talks yet, you're good to go.
Well, like Scott said, he's not in the sequel, so you can kind of
and those aren't canon, so it hasn't even happened yet. So
that's true.
True,
right,
Gordon? That's true. I mean, yes, you're reading it, great, because that you need pull that information, but what they do with it and how they manipulate it to today's canon is the key, and how
I want to hear after Gordon does it, how he sees this play out. Because somebody fresh that's never gone through that story, right? Would be cool to say, okay, this is who's going to play this Luke type character. We assume it's going to be like Ahsoka as the Luke character.
Yeah.
That
was before we actually saw Luke though reappear in the show.
Really, like I said, we
really does throw a wrench in it.
Essentially, we got the Arcade character. We have Paleon now. We
Sabayoth now.
Yes.
Yeah. It's Balon.
Right?
It can be all there. It's all there.
Sorry about the 27-year-old spoiler, man. My apologies.
He said, "What happens at the end of Godfather? What?"
Well, if you go by Godfather, we don't like Godfather 3, so I kind of ignore it, and then you got me started. See, stop. Yeah. So okay. I think I'm gonna go watch it again.
Bondage Brittany, dear hosts, why they making a Jedi Academy movie? How long will it take Rey to teach to defeat even the most powerful Sith? Just make an X with 2 lightsabers. 2 lightsabers. That's the trick.
Yeah, Bondage Brittany's normally about the sequels.
Normally, I'm not one to bash the sequels, but whenever it comes to Rise of Skywalker and that that movie.
I'm good, and are we all in agreement? There's no way to do it if you don't put Grogu in it.
The Rey movie.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, I agree with that.
I still stick with not my assumption, but my idea that Grogu is a antagonist. Being a Force user that is not trained by the Jedi, that is very emotional.
Yeah, he won't be part of their crew, but he'll be existing in that story, right? She'll need it or try to or do something. But he'll have a connection with everybody at some point, right? He was trained by Luke. She was trained by Luke. They'll have a connection. She'll find a story about him in some kind of Luke's writings. Like I'm sure he'll have track of every student he's ever had, and she'll. Oh man, I got my own story about Rey going. Let me go call some people.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what's please do. Because I need help on that one too. If you're not
when Rey killed Palpatine by making an X with 2 lightsabers, she should have said, "Happy Xmas, Dank Ferric Face," or "You're the X-Emperor now."
My personal opinion on the Rey movie going forward, if it doesn't propel a new era or series, to me it's a waste. I can give a crap about what she's going to go through about new Jedi or a new threat. It needs to, like I said, my own opinion. It needs to propel something forward. It needs to be like, we need this so we can go and do whatever, even if it's the next day. I don't care.
It needs to be a gateway.
Yes, a
gateway to future stories that maybe don't involve the Sith. Maybe this is where we get some kind of adaptation of the Yuuzhan Vong, or the Chiss Ascendancy or something that is a new threat that isn't the Sith.
Well, they say the Thrawn stuff that he's dealing with right now in this new space. There are supposedly a bunch of Force users. Like this whole new area is a bunch of Force type shit, and they have different ways of using the Force throughout. So we're going to see a whole bunch of different stuff. So possibly different threats. Again, Force sensitive type threats, but different type threats.
Yeah,
so
I like it. You kind of get that feeling with Balon too, or I think that's his name, right? Balon.
Yeah, I agree.
He's not. Yeah.
Miss Sunflower, I'm gonna give this Rey movie a chance. I'm gonna see it. Of course,
absolutely.
Just like we're gonna see. Hands down, just like. Chris said on Monday, it's like we were talking about Andor and all the other things, and Chris asked me like, do you like Ahsoka more than Andor? I'm like, yeah, bottom line, hands down, I'm gonna see the movie. And And then this Bondage Brittany, I don't agree because you're not in Star Wars anymore if you don't have the Jedi.
That was my point on Monday.
Yeah.
Is I enjoyed this so much more.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the Ahsoka stuff so much more, and I said it's more fun right now because guess what? I have Jedi. I'm in Star Wars. There's the Force. So Andor to me is a good.
It's the political part of it.
It's again, Rogue One and Andor are the best, well done, theatrical looking, written type stuff, right? But it's not. It's not.
It's not Star Wars. It's
not
the political side of it. Yeah, it's the slower burn side of Star Wars. It always has been. That they're like I said, the two aspects of Star Wars: the Rebel Alliance versus the Galactic Empire, and the political stuff, and then Force, Sith, Jedi.
But usually you mix them, and it's a better mix. Andor was just straight. You know what I mean? So it was. You don't have the magic. It's good. It's enjoyable, but there's no magic. I'm back to magic. Literally magic.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only okay. So if not having Jedi anymore, the term entitled Jedi, I agree. We can propel forward and get rid of that mantle and to something new, something whatever, like a.
We were talking about that before the Rise of Skywalker came out.
You just can't get so unfamiliar with what we know as Star Wars because you can't call it Star Wars anymore. You know what I mean? It's something different, completely different.
And you get Star Trek.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so no, cool stuff, guys. So let's wrap it up, and unless you guys have anything final that you want to throw in for this episode or this talk, and then we'll just wait and the bated breath.
Oh God, the next episode is we're gonna go for 2.5 hours, 3 hours on that.
Oh yeah, we're gonna.
There's
get
so many things they need to do in this episode.
There's a lot of wrapping up to do.
And the rumor is we're going to be disappointed in the time. Like it's going to be less time than it was this week. Like that's the rumor. Like
35 minutes, I'm thinking. 35,
minutes.
40, 35.
They've done that
with a cutscene
2 times too.
Yeah, I know it is. That just seems to me it's going to be don't blink. Don't blink because a lot's going to happen. So a lot of stuff that we discussed tonight would have been cool, but it's just not enough time to get to that stuff because especially if they open it and we're walking for 5-10 minutes. I'm like, nope, we got to be
okay. Then let's go around the horn real fast. Let's start with Ernie, and let's see what we think the most basic things that'll happen. Take away the bullshit. What do we think's really going to happen? Ernie.
Okay.
Someone's gonna die.
Who do you think's gonna die?
Basic thing is someone's gonna die.
No, I mean we've got outlandish stuff going. Like 30 things that would take 6 hours to do. What do you think the plot? How do they wrap this up next week? Like just the straight line.
I got it.
After this episode, I don't know. I don't know because I want so much to happen. All that theory crafting comes in and everything, and then just what they've showed us and our speculations and everything. It's very hard just to say, "Oh, I bet you this is it." Like I don't know where to put it anymore. Well, I mean, Grogu's walking around in IG-11 body.
But like Ernie, if you have to wrap it up, all the things that
I can't after this episode of what I know. I don't
know where it's
going. We have pirates. We have whose side is on who. Are they taking back Mandalore?
I forgot about
the
pirates
because he's there. Carson and the crew back at the bar. Are they going to interject? Do they have a right to? Yes, they do. This is what I'm saying. See, there's too much. Not that it's too much.
Short
I'm happy for it.
30-minute.
But I can't.
Short
that's
version.
what I'm saying. I can't say the short version.
Well,
it's all. You're going to have one of those episodes with 5 cliffhangers.
No. The short version is this, and it's the low-rated version. It's short to the point. Din gets rescued by Grogu. Let's say, Axe Wolves dies. Koska Reeves maybe dies. I think the armor might die. Bo-Katan saves the day. She ends up with the Darksaber, kills Gideon, and it's the same thing. It's the same, I have the Darksaber, and everybody bows and kind of like unites. That's the short, low-rated version. Like the whole wrap it up in a bow kind of stuff. I think that'd be lackluster and boring to me. If it's just like, all these things, and then boom, boom, fix. Okay, you died, fix, and then we're back to the same thing. Now, at the end of the day, Bo has a saber, and she's rebuilding Mandalore. Like, you're not gonna see it. She's gonna be on top of that cliff, ignite it, and then Din and Grogu go off and on the ship and leave. That's like the short, boring version, right? So the basic.
You're muted, Chris.
I was giving it to my dogs are barking. I was saying, go ahead.
Yeah, I do think that Gideon's going to go out. I think that in order to bring Thrawn in and make Thrawn the threat he has to be with Paleon and all those other characters, Hux and all that, they need to remove Gideon from the board. So I think Gideon's going out. I think Thrawn's moving in as the new big threat. I still want to stick with, I don't think Bo-Katan is going to make it out alive. It seems like everything is going her way. Mm-hmm. And I don't want it to happen because I love her. I think she's great. But I just think that her death would be really impactful for everybody. And what that leaves with the Darksaber and who rules Mandalore, I don't know. Maybe it goes back to Din, maybe it doesn't. I think Grogu is going to go ape shit with the Force. I think he's going to rescue Din. But yeah, I don't think Bo-Katan is and all my predictions about Bo-Katan this year have been completely off already. So I'm ready to be wrong, and I want to be wrong, but I don't see her.
Yeah, from when I heard that season 3 is wrapping up this whole thing, we're not going to revisit this in season 4. That's when I was like, okay, so we're going to get quick resolutions on these things. Yeah,
and like we will. Okay, so here's it doesn't mean we won't kill everybody off and leave Din ruling it. That's still part of the storyline, right? That's where I'm at. I think that's happening. I've been pretty stuck on they gave it to Din. Gave it to Bo so she can lose it because they couldn't let Din lose it to the Empire. Although they could have done it this last episode, to be fair. They could have, right?
They could have, yeah.
But it's you let Bo have it for a couple episodes so it builds this whole thing up. And then she
builds the army.
Yes. Then she loses legitimately to Gideon. And then he takes it. Now, whether he kills her or not, I'm up in the air about because they just killed Paz. So it's really hard to kill two people, but they're different sides, right?
Oh.
So
one of each.
Right.
If you've captured Dad and you've just killed Aunt Bo, Grogu's gonna lose his shit.
Yeah,
Grogu's gonna go
dark side.
Yeah, dark side. Full
eyes on lightning, lightning coming out of his fingertips, type shit. Out of IG-11.
Yeah.
Okay.
And IG-11 spitting.
I wasn't there yet. Okay, so we're good. He's gonna go ape shit in the suit, rescue him. R5 will send out a call. I'm gonna sit on that one. That one's good. That's how everybody's gonna come. Slave 1 will fight in the sky. Fennec and Cobb will hit the ground wherever they got to fight. The battle droids will come. This is all going to happen.
Yeah.
Because they're going to have old ships. That's a droid planet. They've made it very clear it's a droid planet. No reason to go to battle droid planet and talk to Jack Black unless it's going to come back. And you have the key to the city and a knight. Right? There's
and a
reasons.
favor to owe.
And a favor to owe. There are reasons for all this. So that's all going to happen. After she loses it, Din will get saved and get the Darksaber from Gideon and kill him. I know I want Thrawn to kill him. Thrawn's in New Space. He's not going to be here. So it won't be him. But I think that's pretty much the layout, right? There's going to be a lot of cool shit in the middle. But I think that's hold on. The Mythosaur has to play a part. They have to come back here.
It's either going to be Din or Bo riding them.
Din and Grogu are riding this Mythosaur, dude. There's no way they're giving Bo the Mythosaur. He's the chosen one.
Yeah.
Since day one. He's the one that's supposed to bring this back. He figured out, man, he even fixed Bo. Right? He fixed Bo. He went to Mandalore, saved it. He got redeemed. He did all these things. He's the reason the Mythosaur came up. It's all him, not
absolutely.
Bo. So I think that's going to be it. Him and Grogu together will ride it. That's why they've been setting. We talked about it before. Grogu's had to tame the what's that thing? Mudhorn. The Mudhorn, the Rancor, all these things. It's totally happening. So
I don't think we're getting Boba Fett though. I honestly don't. I think that's, which is unfortunate because I think it'd be cool to pay that favor forward. Because he owes him one. So it would be really cool. But I don't see how we get there.
Yeah. I agree. We got more. That's why I'm having a hard time with Din ruling, right? Because it's not final, but it is not his, to me, not his destiny.
Ruling doesn't mean you have to sit on a throne. Din can do all his stuff and leave Axe to rule in his stead. He doesn't have to do anything. He just has to bring the Mandalorians together.
I agree with bringing them together. I agree with that. But being I was saying, his role being part of Mandalore and involved in the rebuilding of it and stuff. I don't know. I don't see that's his destiny. It could be something else. But I agree with that. I agree with him being the actual one, not Bo ruling him. bring them all together. That makes a lot of sense. Actually.
Yeah, he'll have to stand up, and it'll get them all going. You know, that's why everybody's following her. I play a lot of video games, right? I don't get this belly for nothing. But every time you're the hero, and you're as a hero, you go into this land and you save the day, and you get all these mantles and spoils of war and titles, and then you're off to the next adventure. And that's how I see Din as the old Monkey Wrench was Grogu. It was Monkey Wrench in his little kind of just like trying to survive with the Children of the Watch stuff. So this plays out really cool like a video game. Like he goes to Mandalore, or he finds all these people, saves the day, and helps rebuild it, and then a call comes in to off to something else. He'll rule it because you know what? Because when he said to her he would follow her, he's just going to pick up her mantle. Because nobody else can rule it the same way she would. He'll just do that. That was all just foreshadowing right there. I think that's what that was.
We're good. Out, Chris.
No, that was just a nonsensical nonsense earlier. We're all good now.
Yeah, it was nonsense. I agree.
No, it wasn't.
When we get into those spats, it's because we're not seeing I have it like it's like two different visions, and we're trying to outdo each other's vision, but we haven't even explained it.
Because we get thrown off because usually we have the same sight, and it's really easy to explain. That was a matter of semantics and comprehension.
It was semantics.
Different.
Yeah,
it
was seeing it different, and I didn't understand where you were going. You didn't understand where I was going.
Yeah,
that happens a lot. Trust us. Even when we get together, and it's all good, but it happens more often than you think it does.
Crystal still wants a dance fight. She will probably be at our May 4th event, so I think
Chris might win on that.
Yeah.
I barely go outside. Crystal, I barely go outside to sit there and dance in front of people. Chris might win on that one.
I do go outside, but I don't dance.
Unless you put controllers in our hands and I'll have my character dance it off. You're done. You're done.
Oh.
No, but anyway, if he was asking about Mandalorians, and never mind. So which Mandalorian?
Man,
wow.
No, okay, hold on.
That guy.
Here's the deal, because here's another confusing part.
As we move on to hour 3 of the Starlight Digest podcast,
can I talk about a leak that might throw me off?
If you have to, I honestly have to go.
All right, man.
Sorry, brother.
Yeah, we're closing it out.
No, that's okay. I'm sorry.
Okay, so
we can take it from here, man.
I gotta help Terrain.
Right on, brother.
Later, Ernie.
Later.
I'll see you guys.
Right on. So the rumor at the very beginning,
pissed him off now.
Very beginning, that Bo was going to get new armor, new mythosaur armor. She did technically already. So did she get? So that's what kind of throws me off. Either she's dying or she doesn't die and she gets new armor. But I don't see her getting new armor in one episode. So I'm thinking that rumor was just the pauldron.
I think
since it had a mythosaur.
That it's very very general.
See how I mean when they say stuff like this is going to happen, this is the rumor, she gets new armor, and you're thinking decked out like Mando, and it just becomes the pauldron.
Right.
As
Saber Smith is
Smith,
just the same thing. Yeah.
The leaks from last year say Bo gets
there it is. Yeah.
armor.
The same one. Yeah. And that's the problem. I think she did. So that's where I'm like maybe she doesn't die, but I think that leak already hit.
Yeah.
And then he'll take her, and when she dies, he'll switch her pauldron off. And which one was it? Which arm was it? Can he do it? Hers is the right. She put the mythosaur.
Is the right.
His is the right as well.
Right. Yeah.
She should have put it on the left. That's where Boba's is.
That's right. Then that can be like, or he saves it for Grogu's armor, but it's too big.
It could be the back shell. He's got the chest plate. It could be his back shell.
Oh my god! I want to see him just tuck in.
He's gonna have him. I know, right? In a turtle shell.
Oh my god! Donna, Grogu power.
Yeah, okay. I will say this on the closing out and on your sentiment of like what next week episode and stuff. If I don't see Grogu go ape and lose control in some sort of way, I have that built up in my head that it's just such a cool plot point, even to explore it in season 4, whatever. Like Grogu has to have some sort more character development, and this is the perfect way to introduce that. And Din cannot help him in that aspect, and that's the way of another journey, right? The Jedi journey that he started it doesn't have to go full on, but something where he needs training to control things, because it, I do want to see that happen, and within this mix.
Yeah, he has to dark side it.
Yeah. Din can show him the ways of Mandalore, but Din can't show him the ways of Jedi. But yet, he's committed to the kid now. He can't just hand him off to somebody else.
And Bo calling him his apprentice,
and
doing the Jedi thing, and it's just like, I was like, okay, now it's season 4 is going to be Grogu's time to shine, not be the cute, the stuff that it's going to be like the driven story moving forward, and it's like a perfect way to do it. It's Din's in trouble, in big trouble. Gideon is something he can't. These people are not going to be able to kill him, or fight him off, and it's going to be So.
Yeah, the last time the kids saw Gideon had him in chains, had a sword, had the Darksaber over him, ready to kill him.
Yeah,
and Din risked everything to save him. And now, the roles are reversed. The kid is going to go. You're right. It's going to go.
Remember when Gina, Kara, he went to choke her?
Yeah,
just like that. He has dark side in him. We haven't seen it in a minute.
There's a protective streak, and he doesn't know how to harness it. He doesn't have.
I can't wait to see some dark side. We don't think about that too much enough, and it really it should happen. It should.
Yeah.
He has not enough training. I know he's 50-something years old, but
exactly.
There's a reason why the Jedi were removed from their families. There's a reason why the Jedi were trained the way they were, especially at that age. Yeah.
It's tough when you're in your early 50s.
It's the attachment thing. They're both. Yeah, I know.
Seriously,
it's the attachment.
I'm almost
thing.
there.
Grogu's attached, and
we're younger than Grogu.
I know. It's so
barely.
All right, guys. So let's we'll bring back the Starlight Digest overlay, and whoa, that was a good trip right there.
It was.
Yeah, let's do this. Let's get out of here. Let's go get some rest and then rewatch the series again, or the episode. But yeah, Scott.
Oh no, I was just I'm ready to start hyping up our May 4th event.
Oh yeah, go for it. I'm kicking it off to Scott. Thank you everybody in the pit. It was you guys were awesome as always.
Always.
Thank you everybody here.
Hey Marco.
Yeah,
I love you.
I'll text you later.
Okay.
The proper response to that is I know.
It's
I know.
Okay.
Chris.
He doesn't have to say anything. He's not ready to say it again. We've had a rough time. We had a spat.
This is rough. We're gonna have to talk. We're gonna have to work this out. I'm damaged. I'm a little damaged.
I thought we were good. I meant it wholeheartedly. I even said I'm sorry, not just sorry, dude. Yeah.
I'm sorry for raising my voice too. I didn't mean to, roll my eyes, or I did flip you off a couple of times off camera.
I'm just gonna say you can't see I'm doing it right now. I'm just like feel
it.
Man, that's awesome. We're
Gordon, so much sexual tension between these two.
You got no idea. I went bald first. All right, I went bald first, and then he had to copy me.
Oh man,
I did go bald first.
I'm trying to think. I don't know. I can't. Oh no. That's too far back, bro. That was like 96, 97.
Yeah, Chris, it's all good, man. You know this. There's nothing that can break us up, man. Nothing.
Damn straight.
All right. Scott, we love you too.
Whatever. But we didn't yell at you today, just each other.
Yeah, I know. That's fine. Well, yeah. Hey, thanks everybody for joining us for another exciting, rousing episode of the Sarlacc Digest, where we broke down the Mandalorian episode. What episode was it? It was episode
23.
7.
Chapter 23, episode 7 of season 3.
There we go. So many numbers.
Yeah.
Mandalorian's a mess, dude.
It is. And yes, we had mentioned it a couple times during the show, but we have our it's our 5th annual May 4th event that is coming up real quick. Up here in the Victor Valley area, we've got a little bar in Apple Valley called The Social, and we like to host our annual trivia and benefit for the United Way. So that's right, Thursday, May 4th, 2023 at 7 p.m., celebrating the 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi. There's going to be food. There's going to be beverages. Again, like I said, trivia and prizes, lots of prizes. I got a metric F ton of prizes to give out to everybody.
We do.
We've got some really cool stuff too. I'm actually really stoked for what we've got. So in order to get in, you need to bring in a new unwrapped toy or book valued at $10 or more, or you can make a cash or check donations directly to the United Way representative that will be there. It is unfortunately a 21 and over only. We were going to try and work something out this year, but everything kind of fell apart that we were working on right away. The social change donors, just so you know, a little behind the scenes thing. So that kind of fell through, but maybe next year we'll be able to do a pre-event show and have your kids there. Costumes are encouraged. There are going to be food trucks there, prizes, freebies, music. Again, that's Thursday, May 4th, 2023 at 7 p.m. in Apple Valley, California. You can scan the QR code right there if you want more information. Just follow us on our socials. That's where all that information's at. Address is also on the screen. So, other than that, I can honestly say, everybody, if you haven't already, I'm going to take this over from Marco. You should wampa stomp that like button. Just do it now.
Wampa stomp it.
You want to wampa stomp that like
I am
button.
looking at the likes right now. Okay, it needs to go higher.
Yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of people in there. Only 13 likes. Come on. Exactly. So otherwise, you can also check out our sponsor, Tashi Station Emporium, where you can get these amazing action figure stands right here, just like this, like Darth Maul is standing on.
Yes.
Or, blood stands like this. I got Dracula standing on a blood splatter stand.
I was going to show off Falcon, but I'm kind of embarrassed too. He's ugly.
Falcon's a loser.
But he fits the peg, so,
He does. But why do you have him on that peg whenever you have this amazing G.I. Joe action figure stand right here?
But wait, there's more.
Yeah. But wait, there's more. If you put Sarlacc Digest Podcast in the coupon codes during checkout, you can get 10% off. And he will also send you Joey to personally deliver
with a hug.
I can't actually make that promise, but I would really like to see Joey just walk up to somebody,
personally deliver,
personal delivery. Okay. So yeah. Also follow us on our socials. We got the Sarlacc Digest Central on Facebook. We've got our TikTok channel. We've got Instagram, Twitter. Just look for Sarlacc Digest. Look for that awesome logo of ours that somebody in this room, me, designed. And that's it, everybody. I don't know what else to say. I don't know what else we got. This logo right here. Look for that one.
With that,
keep it nerdy, everybody. God, I talk a lot.